And we are we are live. Oh, everyone has their little teddy bears. Isn't this opportune?
Yes.
Oh
This
wow.
made
Everyone
my day.
has their little teddy bears. That was
Yes.
definitely not scripted to say the least. Wow. I'll have my better half send over
It just
there's a story
it makes
behind this.
it it makes it feel so much better.
So
Yeah.
Who doesn't
Right
feel
here.
better when they're
happy
Yeah.
when they're
happy
hugging them?
happy Friday.
Yes.
Apparently something came in the mail and I had no clue why I got a teddy bear with DP on it. It's I don't even know what to call this. This is the DP bear, I guess. I don't
The DP teddy
the
bear.
DP teddy
Yeah.
bear. That it is a
When you
It
need
thing.
makes
some
it feel
loving,
better.
you just get the hugging.
When you need some hugging, you just get the hugging. There ain't much more that I could say about that. Well, that's one way to completely change the narrative. I think that you guys were waiting at the chomping at the bits, waiting to unveil the goods.
Yes.
I had to make sure that my wife didn't take my DP teddy bear. She's like,
My
oh.
wife did not take my DP teddy bear, but she definitely was wondering why there was a teddy bear named DP here. So there is that part. I too, no one was more surprised than I. Um, Welcome to another episode of Friday Night Live, Military Spouse Appreciation Day, TGIF. We have a great show set up with amazing folks. My name is David Pineda, DP, your host and Army disabled veteran, retired first responder, and number two of the Legend and DP team. So glad to be here. We said we were going to do this last time, so let me see if we can cue it because it's been one of those days. Let's see, where is my. There it is. And then we have coming at us from. Coming at us from the Army, it is B Loft, Brian Lofton, co host extraordinaire. Introduce yourself.
So yeah. So yeah, Brian Lofton, disabled Army vet. Obviously, you can tell mine are hidden wounds, but I not only am I a disabled Army vet, but I'm number one fan member of the DP Teddy Bear Club, and
What has happened here? All where's my where's the stopwatch at? Because I think at this point we
Eat it.
almost got to make a point to just have it rolling just from the beginning because it's bound to go. Um, so we have also with us. We have Amy coming at us from the Air Force. She never ate an MRE before coming here, but she's here now.
With my DP teddy bear. I'm telling you, this made my day. I called Brian as soon as I got it, and I was like, "Oh, because you guys know I haven't had the best week." So I
Hmm.
told him this made my week getting my DP teddy bear. So, yep.
This is definitely not anything that we have scripted as usual. So there's
No,
that part. I don't know
I
how
didn't know
Legend feels
I
about
didn't.
this.
I didn't know I was getting it until Brian and I were talking today, and he was being encouraging and telling me that I was going to feel better later on today
I
when I got the package.
come on, leave that alone.
got to make sure Amy's up, feeling good. DP's feeling
Yeah.
good. We're all feeling good.
Yep.
Yeah, I quite frankly don't know, like I said, what to say. There's a lot there. But it is Friday, so we've all kind of came in and introduced ourselves. We also have a special guest. Everyone knows him. It's baby Brian keeping us company. It's Friday. It's Military Spouse Appreciation Day. And we're here. Crazy week.
Yes.
A lot of bullshit. But we're still here. We're losing control in about 5 minutes. Royalties in whatever this turns into someday in the future. We don't know yet what it's going to be, but whoever this person is, trust me, they're going to show up in a comment one day and be like, stop using my picture.
You owe me. Let's see, how many times did you use my likeness?
Yeah. So if someone out there is a copyright lawyer of baby memes, there's that part. Let's bring up some comments. It is Military Spouse Appreciation Day. It is Friday. A crazy, crazy week.
Yes.
It's funny. This is when you know that literally, as crazy as the day may have been. Okay, great. Lisa just sent me a message. We have some cool things we're gonna roll out. I was actually gonna be like, hey, let me tell you guys something I haven't told y'all. Well, you guys brought the teddy bears out, so there goes that. Amy won't recognize this, but I will share that in the Army, we had a few cadences. We've talked about this before. They say that in the Army, the coffee's mighty fine. They give you muddy water. It tastes like turpentine, right? Mm-hmm. So, fun fact, I actually, because of course, you know, you go on Instagram and socials, you'll find stuff. I actually looked into this company called Mudwater. Not sponsored, just completely because it was interesting. Focus. And there you go. Mud water. It's literally like a coffee replacement. I can't really do coffee. This thing has a whole bunch of stuff. And the best part about it, yes, a lot of good stuff that it brings. I'm not going to lie to you. This is why I bought it right here. Look. Now I'm like a Starbucks guy. Look at that. It's like a little whisker thing. Like you put it in the stuff and you do the whole thing.
Oh, nice.
Yes. Look
You're
at
ready
that.
to froth up milk.
I'm about to make a whole mess on camera.
Oh, I love it.
Look at that. It is frothing right there. Look at that. I can't picture too much, but you see it. Look at that.
Oh, man, just the sound of that, I'm getting thirsty already.
I will say this. The question that cause I called my sister immediately. It smells amazing, but it definitely looks like mud. It has turmeric, cinnamon, lion's mane, cacao, chaga, cinnamon, Himalayan salt. It smells amazing. You could add it to your coffee. You could, use it as a standalone. It has like 1/7 for 1/3 the amount of caffeine, so it's like natural stuff. So, if you see me, I got it today, tried it out. Looked pretty interesting. Love the smell of it. Reminds me of like an old chocolate milkshake because of the cacao. But it tastes not bad at all. Actually, it's just
Really?
all those different things. But that was gonna be my reveal. But now that means nothing because here came baby freaking teddy bear DP.
Right.
I was gonna be like, guys, look what I found. Something new.
Yeah.
Hey, I love that. Muddy water.
Mud water. Yep. So we're gonna have to reach out to them. But we got some folks with us here. Let's bring some comments. We got Frank in the house. Someone locked the door because DP's neighborhood ain't opening right now. Because I tell you,
you gotta make sure that little doggy door on the back porch is shut because he might low crawl through it.
I'll tell you, look, we're gonna get back to Frank, but let's just say Frank found a way to jump into the show not too long ago, and that was pretty interesting. But Frank is here, crayonsreadytoeat.com. Check it out. We're going to talk about it. CREs, MREs, these are CREs. Matter of fact, Caleb, do me a favor, bring me an MRE. Fun fact, my middle child made a point to say, hey, I want me an MRE too. Sure as heck, we want to make a point to get some. So he's definitely going to follow up in footsteps. It's no challenge for me, but we got some MREs. So if you've seen these before, there's CREs out there that are much better. This, to me, dessert. So no challenge for me to eat this stuff because I already scarfed that down.
But my question is, what flavors did you get? And did you like?
What flavors did we get? This is macaroni and tomato sauce. There's like a chicken thing, there's a beef thing, and like a veggie thing, I think. So, mm.
Oh wow.
But yeah. So some pretty cool stuff to come. Frank is saying he wants what do we
Teddy
call
bear?
this thing? A Teddy DP teddy bear?
DP teddy bear.
A DP teddy bear.
DP teddy
Yeah.
bear.
I have to
right
write
here.
this down because I'm gonna forget this. This is because I had no awareness of this conspiracy.
So
I,
when you
I
got
wasn't
it,
sure
were you
how
like,
my
"What
day
is
was.
this?"
What you said?
Sorry.
What you said, Amy?
So when you got it, were you like, what is this?
Yeah, pretty much. I just kind of put it up,
Oh.
and I got a whole bunch of looks of like, even Legends like, so this is what we're doing now. We just go about here gallivanting with images of yourself. Like, what is that? Fun fact: we do have some caricatures that we've brought up before. This
Yep.
right here is by far one of the best ones that we have. It's
Classic.
Legend and I rocking the knight in shining armor. So me and my service dog
Absolutely.
doing some amazing things. More importantly, Frank wants one. We got Chevis in the house. What is going on, my brother? We are unveiling a new thing today. The name is going to be changing, maybe, but we're calling it tentatively, and we'll show it to you. Let's see. Oh, the one question came in. What's the countdown clock? It's just how long it's going to take for us to completely lose control. So we have a timer going. That question came up. But we have an essay that was submitted to us by a veteran, and we are going to read it. So we're actually adding to the website a section specifically dedicated to this space, talking about veterans that are able to kind of express themselves through written format. So I think it's amazing to be able to do that, being able to kind of have a voice for the voiceless. So we're going to play on words and whatnot, but really having a section on our website, that are contributed. So being able to be a voice for the voiceless, essays, letters for the voiceless. So letters from our veterans, we have a few different ways that we can kind of play around with that, but that is happening live today. So you guys will be the first, and gals will be the first to hear about this amazing thing today. As we read that, let's go down. We got Lisa with us. I think
Hey,
Hey,
Lisa.
She
What's
part-
up? Lisa has to
I
come
think
on
Lisa gets her own. She gets to share Baby Brian song because
Yeah, she does.
with us.
I'm going to bring out the extra support today.
We got Christy here with us, United States Air Force, 98 to 02, and now a spouse. Double
Nice.
service, double whammy. Thank you for your service, and then thank you for your continual service.
Yes.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Awesome.
That's
Lisa
awesome.
said, DP, Amy and Brian, Teddy Bear Club.
Yes.
What is happening here? Lisa pretty much concurs, already off the rails. We got Rashida in the house. What is going on, my sister? Apparently she loved the bear situation as well.
Yes.
Rashida. Yeah.
We have some Army combat veteran medic, 88 to 95.
There we go.
Let's see. Of course, you know it. It's Apple's biggest supporter. If there was more spaces, he would definitely show it. Every day on Friday, we make a point to also remember those deployed. It's Red Day, RED, remember everyone deployed. And also know it's Happy Apple Day. Every day for Sam is Apple Day. Not the one you eat, but the one you text with.
I do have to
That's
say
right.
a quick shout out to Elliot. He's performing right now, right?
He is performing right now
Or,
at the Staples
like, any
Center.
minute. Right?
Yep, he should be performing at the Staples Center at the hockey game, I believe, which is awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
Lisa loves her son, Baby Brian. Apparently,
Yes.
Lisa also wants a DP teddy bear. Say that 3 times.
Everybody needs some DP teddy bear.
Oh.
Rashida said, I've heard of that. Sam says, I love the baby bears. So there's that part. CREs are so much better than MREs. That is, can't fight that. Frank said when he snuck in, he showed up in true Marine Corps fashion. let's see. The timer clock is for total loss of control DP. Yeah, pretty much. We already started at a loss, so it is what it is. Frank is trying to be civil here by saying, "Give me the link and all control will be lost fast." We didn't give it to you last time you showed up, so I don't know what to tell you. So there's that part. Let's not be too coy now.
He pulled a ninja move on you.
Yep. But also, that being said and done, Frank, Marine Corps veteran, 95 to December 2002. Semper Fidelis to you, my brother. Let's
Nice.
see. And of course, Lisa still has love for Frank. Um, let's see. Oh, she said Amy actually was the one that sent it. It was part of a group chat that was sent out when the link went out. So there's that part.
Yeah.
Let's see. Aw, damn. Love it, DP and Frank. Sweet.
Uh,
So we are caught up on some comments. Let us know the branch of service if you're here with us live, if you're on the replay. Feel free to tag someone, invite someone. Again, it's Military Spouse Appreciation Day. Every day is Military Spouse Appreciation Day. That's a whole different conversation in and of itself.
That's true.
And we're going to get into that as well. But we have some pretty cool things. Like I said, we definitely want to do as well and share. So we actually sent out an email. We have a service dog organization that was able to reach out and had an opening for veterans. So we're vetting through some names. It was kind of a short turn. But as that news comes out, we want to be able to share that. So hopefully we'll have that news to share soon. But we were able to share that with our community, and hopefully one of the veterans that reached out with interest to get a service dog will be able to be front loaded. So to put in perspective, that could be a 2-year wait for most part. And if the veteran that is selected is able to go through the process, you potentially are looking at about cutting that time not in half, but less than that. So it is pretty impressive that you can literally go from waiting 2 years to, in a year or less, being able to be paired up with a service
Wow.
dog. So those opportunities don't come
that's
off too
awesome.
often. But I would encourage folks, head on over to veteransnetwork.club. Any news or things that come up, we're going to be sharing them there to be able to give to the community as best we can. So as organizations reach out, we want to do that. Let me see here. Amy, how was your week? We'll start with ladies first.
Oh my goodness. It was a week. That's all I'll say. I'm going to keep it positive. It's been a week. But you know what? It's Friday night and I got my DP teddy bear.
DP teddy bear makes you feel nice.
Yes.
There was a cadence that said tiny bubbles in my wine made me
Tiny
happy,
bubbles.
make me feel fine. Well,
Yes.
apparently that now can be substituted for DP teddy bear.
Yes.
Tiny DP teddy bear makes me feel fine.
I think at some
I
point,
have to say, I if I'm being totally transparent, which I think, it's okay to be like that sometimes, this was a really hard week. Like super hard. I know I've talked to you guys about it. You guys have all, of course, been super supportive, but yeah, it was just it was just a weird, crazy, and unexpected, eventful, not good week. So
All right, Lisa.
look what y'all have done. The swag shop will have to be updated. But in the grand scheme of things, Amy, you're here and you have a DP teddy bear.
Yes.
Completely not of my doing. So there's that part.
Right.
And Lisa had to correct herself. She said, I need a DP teddy bear.
Yes.
There you go.
I don't know if I feel like at some point, we might have to kind of. Everything always starts off as a gag or a thing and it becomes something. And at some point, if you ever see yourself getting one of these bad boys with a little beard on it, don't ask questions. It's just a little bearded teddy bear. Customizing everything because,
Yeah, no, I have to admit, this is the young DP teddy bear.
Yeah,
this
well,
is,
hey, we got baby Brian.
Okay.
We got baby Brian. Now that could be baby DP.
Yeah, baby DP teddy bear. There you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
DP teddy bear will grow up one day and have a beard.
The timer is gone because we've lost control, so we're already there.
I feel like that's actually probably going to happen sooner than later.
No, it already happened. The minute those bears came out, it was already going downhill. I was like, what a tarnation.
That's just going to start a whole new thing.
Yeah, it's a whole movement, and you know what? We're here for it all. I
Yeah.
will say this though, in the grand scheme of things, a few quick actually no, we'll go to Brian real quick. How was your week before we get to some of the administrative things? So we have a lot of stuff to kind of share. So we want to
Mhm.
get to that, and we have a guest coming on in as well as we celebrate the day. But how was your week, good sir?
I have to say it was, yeah, of course, it's just like anybody else. I get my down times, but now I don't have to worry about that quite so much. Um, I can break
I think I
out my
yeah.
I break out my Bible, do some Bible reading, and then give my DP teddy bear a squeeze or two. And man, it just seems like everything's right again. And
Yeah. I think I'm gonna
it's
put yeah.
yeah. So I'm feeling much better today. But it's been aside from some of the challenges that we've had, it's been a pretty exciting week. Week of new things, and I think that we'll probably touch on here a little bit later more. But uh, but just learning new things. I'm finally a crypto uh, investor. Like I told DP today, I put half of my
You did
money
it.
in one and half in another. So I'm official now. So that's it.
What?
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm moving on up.
That's awesome. I need to do that. That's cool.
Yep.
How was
I
your
got
week?
5. Yeah. How was your week there, DP?
You're muted.
Oh, yep. You're muted.
He needs the
It's
I
been
need his cup oh, there you go.
there, yeah, it was. I was saying, it's been a whirlwind. That's probably the best way to put it. Of craziness. If you're following us on social, we were selected, and well, we've talked about this Clubhouse app. A lot of the folks that we've brought up onto the show and so forth, they've all come. Actually, let's go ahead and update Amy's little name tag. So let's go ahead and put Amy's name tag
Oh,
correctly. And let's
Yay.
go ahead and fix Brian's name tag as well.
Yay.
I would argue I don't need one because apparently I am. So there's that
You
part.
are the living teddy bear.
yeah. Yeah. Joe should probably have your teddy bear. You probably don't need it. Joe should probably have it. Or
Yeah,
maybe
yeah. I agree.
but
We have.
DP,
Mhm.
DP, you could use this in the likeness of the Care Bears.
This is true.
So whenever the Care Bear, whenever you weren't there, somebody needs some support. This your DP teddy bear shoots its heart out to
Hmm.
give that other person support. So that's just you sending love to a vet.
Hey, look, and we do have an event coming up actually in a few days about that same concept. So
There we
it
go.
is definitely amazing. We got Alessandra in the green room, so she'll be here in a second. Uh, I
Oh, you
will.
didn't do the doorbell.
I know that she's not there, not here yet. So where is my
Oh,
little,
okay.
So you may hear a little bit of when
There
we
you go.
bring her on. So
I love it.
apparently the comment sections are lighting up with a lot of teddy bear love. So teddy bear loves are coming up in
Yeah.
full support. Let's see, where is to update folks on some of the things that are going on. A crazy week. You may have seen on our social media platforms a few things that we've shared. So let me actually bring up here one of them. So you may have seen this as an update to our profiles, and then you may have seen an update to Brian's profile, and you may have seen an update to Amy's profile. And if you're wondering what this thing is, we have been selected as creator first for the Clubhouse application. It is out there, it is live, and we are in a situation. But let's go ahead and just applaud that for all of us. So, what is Creator First? Basically, what the app has done, Clubhouse, that is, they've brought in specifically some creators to be able to create certain things. Uh, Clubhouse, audio only, think podcast, think live radio. It's only open for iPhones. They're opening up to more. Android is coming, but the biggest takeaway is they are now sponsoring shows in Clubhouse. So we out of 5,000 people, we've applied, and they selected us out of 5,000. So 60 now are moving to the finalists. Out of those 60, 20 will go on to production, which means a whole season is going to run from June to September. And we have a new show that we're going to be unveiling and testing on that platform since it's audio only. We are tentatively at this point calling it the Veterans Network Front and Center. So think military front and center. And we're going to be highlighting two veterans. So think One on One meets Little Friday Night Live. And basically, our first show is going to be on May 20th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're having the Marine Rapper as our main guest, and then we're highlighting our everyday hero, which is our second guest, Maria Salazar from Claymore Vets. So really the concept is having two guests, the first guest and then our everyday hero guest, and then being able to really highlight what our veterans are doing. So remember, this is a regular app. So think if YouTube was running 20 shows and we were one of them, right? We're the only veteran show on the app. Or if Facebook had a show they were running. So now all eyes are on these creators. So I would tell you that this whole thing that I just showed, the minute I'm in the app and traveling for whatever, it is literally madness. Belay my last 21st, that Friday at 8 p.m. 21st. I might have the 20. Friday the 21st at 8 p.m. And then we're going to Friday Night Live. So Friday Night Live that week will be the after party to the pilot. So the pilot premieres the 21st at 8 p.m. Walking around one of these things in the clubhouse is an automatic way to get pulled onto stages and meet people that you have no business
Yes.
talking to. And when I tell you that sliding into people's DMs has taken on a whole new meaning, as soon as they announced that, my DM has not stopped. We have got people reaching out. We have sponsorships. We have, it's so many things that are going on. I'm talking right now to a veteran who's a chef in New Jersey and wants to come up. It is just amazing stuff that's going on. So there's a lot to unpack there. We'll talk a little bit about kind of what's that's been, but it's definitely been huge for us to be able to, be a part of that. Amy, your thoughts and impression on Creator First, and Brian, and then we're going to bring our special guest in.
I think it's cool. I haven't had as much time to really let it all sink in and listen to everything. There's been some cool rooms that I've tried to listen to, but I think it's exciting to just any chance to be a part of something new and upcoming and seeing how it rolls out. What I am most excited about is the excitement that everybody else has for it. And they're so excited about the Veteran Network and just learning about the Veteran Network and what it is. And it's been kind of surreal. Like DP was saying, when you go in these rooms, most people know who he is. So they'll bring him up and they'll talk.
I took him out at 8:45. Sorry.
It's just interesting to see how they one, they know who he is, and two, how grateful they are for the Veteran Network and the
I
very
took him out already. Yes.
how
I'm
they
sorry.
are
I keep thinking. Yeah. Sorry. Control has been lost.
yeah, just to see how excited just hug your teddy bear, please. Yeah,
Yeah.
fine. No, but just to see how appreciative they are of Veteran Network and what you do. That's been super cool. I mean, we love you, we work with you, we know what you do. But to be able to see from the outside how many people feel the same way is pretty cool. Kind of scary. I feel like one of them might be a stalker. I do. They love some DP. I'm sure they would love a DP teddy bear. But yeah, it's fun. But it's fun. It's fun. It's been good. It's exciting. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
Over
What do you
to
think, Brian?
you, Brian. What are you thinking?
You're muted. Why do you guys keep muting yourself?
I'm just getting so excited to share, the DP teddy bear that I can't help myself. It's no, but it's been a pretty, like you said, kind of a surreal experience. This is the first one of its kind, certainly for Clubhouse. They're anticipating more, but this is their first go around, and to be down selected as finalist out of 5,000. That you're the finalist of 60. One of 60. It's pretty. It can be a little nerve wracking if you think about it too much about the attention that's on you, because, like DP said, you've basically got a bullseye with as your badge in Clubhouse now, because everybody knows what that little wavy green line looks like. So, but yeah, it's exciting. We're getting a chance to do something that we really weren't thinking that, when we went into Clubhouse, that was a question that someone posed in Clubhouse last night. I think it was, when we started Clubhouse, were we intending to do something like this? And the answer is no. we were going into Clubhouse just to socialize, network, kind of a little bit of escapism, if you will. Just kind of, and of course, somebody's at the door, DP.
Somebody's at the door. I wonder who we may have with us.
All right. Hey.
Hey, Alesandra.
How are you?
We are good. Better that you're here now with us. I'm gonna try to make you not look so big on sitting here next to us, so it's not looking too crazy. So I'm gonna let Amy introduce you for a little bit here. I'm gonna move you down next to us. I'm giving you also a teddy bear to your name. There's a thing going on apparently today. Everyone has a teddy bear named DP. I don't know if you got one too. This has been madness. But we are celebrating, obviously, military spouse appreciation. You've worn many hats, so I wanted to introduce you, bring you on, and I'll put you right next to me. Actually, no, I'm going to put you between me and Brian because you're also Army.
Right.
So
there you go.
Oh, no. What's that?
Unfortunately, that's her only fault. Her only fault is Army.
Oh, no. You hang out right here with us. Look at that. Bloop.
You made her only fault is excellence?
Oh, wow. Oh,
There
then
you
you're
go.
speaking Air Force Core values, Brian.
Oh, no. Welcome to the show. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your continued service. Some folks may not know this, but Alesandra has been in, how do you say, in spirit and support in ways, part of our show. We are not new to the family. We have done apparently some collaborations. If folks look at some of the work that we've done, there's a little bit that has been already kind of clearing the way for you. So you being here, I think, really brings it full circle. All we need now is the mister, and the whole family is pretty much kind of popping in doing a thing. But Amy, please take it away.
So she goes by Alex, but Alesandra. She's one of my best friends. I met her
Army best friend, to be clear, in case people didn't hear this.
So
Army best friend.
I think that's the thing. I think I have an Air Force best friend, an Army best friend, a Navy best friend.
No, there's only one best friend. It's Army. The end.
That's right.
Yeah. So I actually met her during a very difficult time. She was our girls. She has twin girls, and they're in the same class. And I was going through a really hard time, and I didn't know what to do. but I knew that I might need somebody to pick up my kids on a specific day because of something that was going on. And I went to her and I started I started
Don't mind me. I'm
crying.
just giving a little shout out
Yeah.
to my army friends.
So I started crying when I was trying to tell her the story of why I needed her. And from that moment on, she instantly took me and my kids in. And they ended up leaving like a year later, but I think we were pretty much inseparable from that time on. So she really took us in, and her husband and Alan, and we were just really close. And I've watched her, obviously know her story. She's a previous Army medic, and then she got out, went to nursing school, did that, and then started having babies and decided to stay home and be a stay-at-home mom and to support Alan, who's a lieutenant colonel in the Army. They're in Korea right now, so they have 7 kids. He has 3. We did an interview with Aaron for the month of military child, and then they have 4 together, twins, and twins are the same age as Nia, and then Aiden, who's older, and Andrew, who's younger. So she has a pretty interesting story, and she's amazing how she juggles it. He's been deployed twice, so she's been a single mom through 2 deployments, one for 11 months and one for 12 months, doing the 4 kids and single mom thing, and she rocks it like usual. So very strong, independent, but also family oriented woman who has been a huge inspiration in my life and helped us through a lot. So that's
Nice.
Alex. You're muted, hon. I think.
No, she's good.
Nope.
Oh,
nope,
no,
she's
I
good.
can
She was
hear
just,
you.
she was
Okay.
just being in the
so-
army. We just give people time, and then
Oh, wow.
now yeah.
Okay.
Buddy
okay,
said, buddy
okay,
moving.
Okay. So now I at the beginning of the show I was on my phone because I needed to send DP a picture
Mm-hmm.
of because I knew he was going to bring something up about the Air Force and the Army.
Here
And
we
so I
go.
wanted you guys to know how nurses in the Air Force work versus nurses in the Army.
I
So
got it.
Alesandra and Alan are both nurses. But if you could just show what nurses do in the Army, DP, please.
I will let me pull that up here.
Yes.
Since apparently there seems to
For
be
the
some
record. For the record.
for
Where
the
is
record.
where is Alan?
He's out with the kids because
Oh,
otherwise
okay.
it was going to.
So I wanted to do a quick jump over for those that are not aware of our YouTube channel. You might be there right now watching. So definitely wanted to highlight here of the episode in question specifically. We did highlight a few amazing individuals. So here we have the month of the military child. We spoke with Aaron, amazing individual, young man, and just being able to kind of talk through kind of his journey, share his story. So that was one of the highlights that we did last month. So wanted to call the attention for folks that may have not caught that one specifically. And then we also have this kid who apparently shares my last name, so we'll just call him the other KP. And then we also have Amy's little bundle of joy. So our children that we've been able to highlight here are part of these conversations. So you'll see that the snippets as well. So really kind of showing the whole story, right? Like a 16, 17-year-old, an 18-year-old, and then now having a veteran, well, a military service member. So it's kind of cool how it played out to be able to kind of show different stages, from our, having our children on the show. So I thought that was pretty amazing to do. Specifically to Amy's point, apparently there seems to be this thing about what happens in the Air Force versus the Navy. So let me pull
No, Air Force versus Army.
Oh, okay, yeah. You see that? It's I couldn't even put Army into it because it's like my mouth can't sit there and say these blasphemous lies. So
Yes. And as long as I've known Alan, let me just say, I have never seen that man go to PT. Argue
Well, now.
even work a
So
full
apparently
day.
this is an image, a combat image we have here of an Air Force nurse and then an Army nurse. This meme came to me like this. I would never
Wow.
disgrace a picture of our best fighting force ever. The way
Mm.
this was done, this is probably doctored up by an Air Force person, is all I'll say. Um,
And he wasn't even at work. That was the thing. He was at home in the office. I was at their house. And I'm like, is this really what the Army does? First, they don't PT. Then all you need to do is put on your uniform and sit in your chair and talk, and you're on duty. That's how the Army does it.
I
Air
don't know,
Force.
but it seems like there's a lot of hate in that.
Yeah.
In that there. But talk to me a little bit about this right over here that we also got.
Oh.
Rewind when someone had some more hair and everything, because that was pre, slick and smooth.
Yes.
Circa, where are we here, Alex?
So we are in 2003, 2004, where we were both deployed to Iraq together. And yeah, I was in my last year of active duty there.
And you were also did you have various MOSs, or you only stood in one field?
No, so I started as a medic and ended as a medic. I knew I wanted to go to nursing school, and ultimately my goal was to go back in the military on the officer's side as a nurse. However, once I became wife and we started having children, I realized my dream was going to be put to the side so that I could help Alan continue his.
And I think that's, and I want to really highlight on that because I think that speaks volumes. But before I get serious with that question, I want to know, looking at the pythons here, it looks like you were doing more push-ups than he was doing. So on a PT test side of the house, who was leading the way? Granted, he's moved on and moved up in rank and all that. But in this snapshot right here, something tells me that he was not able to keep up with the pain you was bringing.
So he always has had me in the crunches and the sit-ups, but I've always taken the run. And then push-ups.
Catch me if you can. And arguably he did catch you because you're married.
That's right.
So, but I really wanted to kind of focus in on one specific point that you kind of mentioned, specific to your service. So quick disclaimer. So Amy on her side of the house also kind of had both sides as well, being a male spouse. On my side, same exact thing. I've kind of played both roles. And I think it's just, it goes without saying the statement you made, right? Of, hey, you knew you wanted to support him in his career. And obviously we were shown a sacrilegious, picture of him, apparently, closing some deals. Who knows what he was doing? This was after work. He may have been ordering a pizza. Come on now. He's like, look, I'm not saying, but if you don't have, pepperonis, I'm not going to, I don't know what he was saying. This is not
He probably just got finished doing a 10-mile run.
Something like this is not the image of someone at work. This, like, if he was like one of these or like
yeah,
that'd be different. But this is literally like, look, I don't know who ordered that. Alex, it wasn't me. That might have been the conversation. We got an Amazon package here. He's like, look, I don't know. It showed up on the bill. What happened? I may or may have not made that face before.
I was not the one that ordered that exfoliating mask. Somebody else did that. So
I, full disclaimer, like I said, I think that, like I said, there's some candid shots here that we were sent. I'm trying to find the one. See, there's one here where he knows, like, okay, this is a good one to bring up. So apparently there was a whole bunch of paparazzi action going on in the boss's office, and in the middle of that, he's like, hey, you get back to work. And here we see just that. Hey, you get back to work. Literally, hey, you get back to work. Business is going on here. There's some Article 15 somewhere in the middle in there that he had to sign off on. Someone did a thing. There's a list here that I'm pretty sure.
Please tell me there is no way ever in the Air Force you would ever see an Air Force member with their foot up on a desk like
First
that.
of all, that's called tactical advantage. If the enemy is coming, guess what he has to do? Spring to action. You see right there? He don't have to pick up his foot. If the enemy comes to him, guess what? The foot's already up. That's called a front kick. Loaded.
That's right.
You wouldn't know about that. That's Army combatives. Come on now.
That's right.
I got you.
He's locked and loaded.
Amy, you are outnumbered. Don't bring that heat over here. That's just being prepared. So look,
That's right. He's stretched. He's ready.
exactly. Look at that. See, look ready, ready, and the
It's
boot
like
right
I'm
there.
going to make that Amazon cutoff time, and you're not going to stop me.
Exactly. But I think it's really commendable because what ends up happening is, and I shared a little bit of this on Facebook today, but there's a lot of gratitude, whether or not it's your spouse who served or your mom who was a spouse and you kind of were reared in that environment, or you have a sister or a brother, whoever it may be, the roles that military spouses hold to be able to allow us to do things. It's interesting. One of the things that we've talked a lot in Clubhouse specifically is we have a lot of first responders who've been coming up to our rooms, and sometimes they'll say, "Well, you know what? I'm not a veteran, so I don't know if I belong here." And I've always said, "Well, first of all, understand who was there to respond when we were deployed." So think about it, right?
Right.
The boss is deployed. He's downrange. Alex is holding
Right.
it down with the kids. Something's going on. You call 911. Who rolls up, right? A squad car, a first
Right.
responder, a medic, Billy's at a soccer practice, has a situation. Who shows up, right? A fireman or what have you. Those first responders are there when many of our service members are not available because they're not there. So they're part of our situation. Akin to that, I would also argue the same happens with military spouses. How many dinners did we not make? How many soccer, sports, baseball games did we not make? How many times
Right.
did we not show up to a thing we're supposed to show up? And the military spouse stood up and made a point to say, "Hey, don't worry about it. This was happening," kind of covered our six when literally just work took over. Because a kid doesn't understand, hey, dad's deployed or has to go away for a period of time, or he'll be back soon. They have no cognizant time if you're gone for a year or what have you, unless it's 2 weeks like the Air Force. But my point being here that in the grand
Or
scheme of
never.
things, being able to really, hold so many of those pieces down and support, the ability for even him to continue his career. And it's great being able to see these images, but really going back to understand and say the only reason that he was able to continue and go from here right to this situation, it's because you support him, right? You made a conscious effort to say, "Hey, I'm going to support you, so you can go forth." And what rank was he here on the together picture? Hmm?
Cap-
Okay, and now he's
Oh,
now he
Kinda.
is yes. So my point, like that transition, like you don't just get from that point to that point. So being able to go from a green captain, kind of finding his ways, like okay, I think I have potential. I want to be able to push this through, and where he's at today, that's built on a foundation. I think that's a huge thing to really focus on. I don't think a lot of military spouses really get that recognition sometimes from the FRG, the family readiness groups, being able to coordinate things. And ultimately, even more so, many of the military spouses who had to step up while their spouses were gone and never had a chance to step down because the spouses didn't come
Right.
back, which is
Yeah.
another part also in this. So when we recognize and talk about the military spouse and being able to be dual hatted, what you do, Alex, to support your husband, there are some spouses that they kind of put on both hats. They were mom and dad for that 1 year deployment, but that 1 year deployment
Right.
never ended because dad never came back. And those are things that are truly happening. Arguably, you have also other instances where some veterans didn't, some service members came back, but they didn't come back, and who
Right.
left didn't come back the same, and over time that may have eroded situations and whatnot. So I think it's one of those things of that consistency. When I was deployed and came back, it was almost like, okay, I'm gone for a year. You don't just plug and play back in. It's like a whole routine has
Right.
happened without me now, right? So like, how do I reintegrate into this
yeah.
thing, and what do I do? Now that I'm back in the mix here, right? Like you have a routine that you've been doing. How do I slowly reintegrate myself, right? And even that process of being able to be like, hey, dad's back. Okay, this what's going on. Uh, it's amazing. Talk to me a little bit, Alex, on your side of the house, right? To that point, what are some of your thoughts? Because again, you're on both sides of the house, but what are some of your views, both being on the service side and then mil spouse support side?
So I wanted to just say that when I was young and active duty, the joke was kind of against amongst all of us. The spouses didn't do anything. You heard all the jokes. You heard the making fun of, teasing. And now that I am and currently on the spouse side, it is much harder than the active duty side. Um, like you said, he gets to go away for a year. He's deployed. When they come back, they're never the same. There is a change that happens every time, mentally and physically. Um, you know, and it's hard to reintegrate for being gone for a year plus, and then they come home and it's they want to help, they want to be a part of, but you have a routine, you have everything set in place, and it's almost harder to reintegrate them than anything. So I will say that being a spouse, at least in my opinion, is 10 times harder than ever being the active duty soldier. Even seeing combat, the spouse role to me is hard, having to deal with my children's emotions, having to explain to them where dad is, the waking them up so that they can see him and talk to him online because the time difference is so different. Having to go to the school events by myself, feeling alone, and then my kids feeling alone and trying to balance dad being gone.
Now,
It's
and
like
talk
being a
talk talk to me
parent all the time.
talk to me, Alex, about to that same point you said. I just want to go back real quick. Every time a different person coming back, that change. Talk to me a little bit about that, because the other part is beyond being that rock for the family. How, and again, yourself and obviously other male spouses, and kind of seeing this in your space. Talk to me a little bit about how that was support wise, understanding that, again, let's just say 3 deployments, right? Deployment 1, you come back, DP's a little off. Deployment 2, a little more. Deployment 3,
Right.
these things change you, right? Because you're growing apart to a degree. It's a whole year that
Right.
you're apart, good, bad, or indifferent. Add trauma,
Right.
add stressors. Talk to me a little bit about your mental, I guess, game plan, understanding that, hey, I already know kind of what's happening here because you've been deployed and you know what's going to happen.
Right.
You know how that side goes. Being able to be supportive as a spouse for him, because there may be someone out there who is a male spouse who's never served,
Right.
and it may be either their first deployment they're currently dealing with right now. Like, you may be watching this and your better half may be deployed. And you're thinking, hey, he's going to come back or she's going to come back, and Alex is going to be great. We're going to pick up right where we left off.
No.
Spoiler alert, not so much. Talk to me about that, Alex.
So, and they leave. Of course, you try to keep things as normal as you can. You talk every day if you can. But when they get home, the biggest thing that I have learned is I don't ever push too much, and I definitely don't expect too much. I try to give him time and space, allow him to, get the extra sleep. If he wants to talk about anything, we will slowly talk. But I don't sit there and hound and question and throw the kids on his lap and say, "Here you go, I need a break." Because while I've been, raising our children for the past year, he's been gone. He's been dealing with more mentally, um, I guess, mentally difficult, I would say. And so when he comes home, I've noticed there have been times that he's been withdrawn just because he feels out of place. And so then I have to work at, "You're still dad. We still need you. We love you. It's fine. Let's work together. We will get through this."
That's a
Amy.
lot of pressure, I think, too, especially, for I've never when I was married to my ex, he was gone for a year, but it was a little bit different situation. Um, so I've always said too, I can't imagine, having to be deployed in a situation that they have deployed in, and the things that they've done, because I know a little bit about both of their deployments, hers and his. I think I think I will say Alex does a good job at putting on the face that makes it look easy. That makes it look like, oh, here she is, a lieutenant colonel's wife. She has it made. She's always the one with the cupcakes. Her girl's hair is done to a T every day. Her kids are dressed. Like, it looks from the outside like that life that everybody wants. That life that it's like, man, if I could just have that. And they have a great relationship. Like, what I do love about them is watching them together is fun. Like, they have a friendship and it's fun. But, Alex is very good at keeping everything together, but arguably not really telling people what it's like when she lays down at night, and the time that she does have to herself and what it is. And it's a lot. It's, I mean, she runs a tight ship, and she runs everything the way it needs to, and she doesn't just do the stay. I mean, her kids are involved in everything, whether
Mm-hmm.
it's not just band, it's sports, and it's band, and it's school, and it's games and puzzles and holidays and decorating and sending care packages and being classroom mom. And so it's very deceiving for some people. And I used to look at her and be like, how do you do this? Like, how do you do it? And I think sometimes, it's survival mode, but other times, because I think she is being mom and dad. And so she's trying to make sure that everything is taken care of, so that at least the kids feel that sense of normalcy. So it's not like, well, you guys can't do this because dad is here and it's too much for me. Because there are parents that say, look, you can't play basketball this year. It's too
Mm-hmm.
much, or you can't do this. And so trying to keep that normalcy um, is very difficult. And I think it can be very deceiving. And you
Mm-hmm.
do look at people. I know hands down people will look at Alex and be like, oh, she's a lieutenant colonel's wife. She has it all together. Oh, it's this and it's that. And definitely judge her. But it's not like that. And so I think there's a conversation that you bring to the table, DP, about even having this conversation with Alex of, what is the true reality of that. And one other thing I would say too is that knowing both of them and watching them and being around them, one thing that I think I've never met anybody that's done this before,
Mm-hmm.
seen it or heard it, is that I will give kudos to Alan for acknowledging Alex's sacrifices and what she does. He's given her some very amazing gifts as like appreciation, but also acknowledging who she is as a mom, as a nurse, as a former servant. I mean, I'm not saying, not like a, anything like nice plaques and nice,
Mm-hmm.
like a shadow box type thing, and, different kind of things like that. And so I think that one thing that is it's they're not appreciated enough. Like
Mm-hmm.
they, I think, and it can be easy when it seems like everything's taken care of, that you don't realize the sacrifice that they make. And so I
Yes.
think it's just one of those things that, it's a, I don't know what you would say. Like it's not, it's misbetrayed a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's just as hard, if not harder, being the one at home and laying in bed thinking, I know what my husband does. I know what he's over there doing. I've been there, and thinking, what if he doesn't come home? Or what if I get that phone call? Or
Mm-hmm.
what if I get that knock at the door? Or, that random, neighbor kid saying your dog's out at 10:30 at night, and thinking, oh my God, what is that dog? I had a client that was talking about that knock at the door. And yeah, so I just think it's cool that you created this space to acknowledge, Military Spouse Appreciation Day, because, I don't think that they're appreciated as much as they should be, for sure.
No, I agree, and I think these are the conversations that have to happen because for many of us, we know and we kind of go through it, but there's no handbook to this stuff. I don't care if you're part of the FRG or have a crew or not. Folks just don't tell you truly what it's like to deal with some of this stuff.
Right.
And arguably, when you start to add into that, right, rank again, kids are kids, drama is drama, stress is stress, don't matter what your rank is. But then you add rank into this, or it's being a senior officer or senior NCO,
Yeah.
that adds a whole different level of complexity because now you're also
Right.
dealing with all that comes with that. Because unlike that junior officer, that junior NCO, guess what? That phone rings, you got to go. That's just part of the job, right? That middle night call. Guess what? You pinned on that E5. You're a sergeant now, and so one of your people in your squad, like as you move up in responsibility, you have to be available, for that. And to a degree, there's also that balance of does your work almost become kind of like your second family, and at what point does that become something that you really can't balance because it's not really easy, right? You're prioritizing your troops sometimes more than your kids, because of the fact that you're making sure there's readiness and and they're ready to go and do things. And as a kid, right, it's just like, well, why does dad spend so much time with these cats over there? You know what I mean? Like, there's so many things that are playing that you almost have to try to neutralize, because it's like, no, 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 there's a reason why dad has to go, or he had to pull out of the game, or he has to leave early, something happened, or there's a warno and he has to kick, all the things that happen on top of it from a leadership perspective. I think it's unspoken, right? I would
Right.
add to Amy's point. I also have given some gifts to my military spouse. Sadly, many of those have been headaches, so there's that part. Um, her service connected migraines have been benefited by me. There's that part.
Well, and I
Bri-
think that's a good point too, because even to Alex's, she, let's not forget, she's a soldier or a previous soldier that was deployed and that does have PTSD issues because of the, some of the stuff that she went through. But when does she have time to take care of herself? Where does she prioritize herself? I've been trying to get her to work on her claim forever. When do you have time to stop and say, okay, let me take care of myself for a minute? Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'll get to it. No, it's okay. It's okay. Take time for yourself, and I think that that's something too that, makes this even a more interesting situation, is that, because she does have that and she does know what it's like and she has been where he's been, and to trying to deal with that. And sometimes I think to myself, does she do all this because she needs to stay busy mentally, so she doesn't have the, like, who wants to be this busy? Who wants to be this busy? But another thing that I would say, that we were kind of talking about this yesterday, is that obviously I'm like the best of friends. I'm like, I mean,
That's questionable.
yeah. And so, when she had a big loss when she moved away from here, and I was no longer accessible to her on a daily basis. So on top of dealing with everything, she has to deal with her withdrawals from her best friend. No, but really, I think that's something to be said too, is that, when you do enter into, they have to move a lot, right? I don't know about the Army, but I know typically for the Air Force, officers tend to move more, like every couple years, whereas enlisted can stay a little bit. And then as soon as you kind of get in the groove of things and establish yourself and maybe make a friend or two, and then it's time to leave, and then you start over and you're somewhere new. So what if she could start to think about making time for herself, or whatever, and then they leave again and she has to start all over, and she has to find those friendships, and then she leaves those friendships, and then it's
So
like,
how
where
did
does
you
her
deal with that,
support?
Alex?
So, yeah, for me,
What's your secret sauce?
there really isn't any. I am kind of a loner by nature. However, wherever we have been stationed, I seem to form and make this amazing group of friends that become my support system. Amy was a huge part of my support system in Colorado. Our last duty station at JBLM, I had 4 girlfriends that I could go to for anything. I will say being here in Korea has been the most difficult and is the most challenging. Not living on post and just being on the economy and not knowing the language is a huge barrier. However, part of this lifestyle, I feel, is resiliency, and you've got to be able to pick yourself up and keep going. And that's what I hope that I'm showing my children. Not only is dad doing this and showing them through being the service member, but as the mom and the wife, I will always want my kids to look at me and say, Mom never stopped. She kept going. She figured it out. She helped us through. She didn't let anything get in the way, and she just kept moving forward.
Alex, what would you say is one of the biggest satisfactions of your life the minute you decided to become a military spouse? Because in service, I'm sure you had goals and things that you're proud of, but when you've transitioned over and said, I'm going to support him now, that is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to hold it down and do this part here, because we're talking about like the strength, the resiliency, and all those other
Right.
parts. But now tell me about what are the things that really kind of make the ice box a little bit less icy, right, and warms up your heart to be like, man, what I mean, like I made the right decision.
So when I joined the military, my biggest thing was I wanted to be part of something bigger. I wanted to feel like I was contributing and doing my part. switching over to the military spouse side, it was kind of hard to switch the role and go from feeling like I was part of something to all of a sudden I was feeling like I was missing out and that I no longer was helping as much as I could or should be. However, through the years, I have learned that I'm not missing out on anything.
Mm.
I choose this lifestyle. My husband chooses this lifestyle. We choose it for our children. You know, I have so many family members that kind of didn't understand why I joined, don't understand why Alan hasn't retired, and, you know, why we're not just retired somewhere and living the life. And it truly is, we love to serve our country and make the sacrifice. I feel like our children are getting so much that most kids will never ever get to experience in their life. You know, having to move, make new friends every time, it's a challenge, but it also teaches you how to rely on yourself, build your personality, and know that you can get through it. So, yeah, I love this, and truly, I'm terrified and not looking forward to the day that he retires, because then we will for real be out. And this has just been our lifestyle for so long, and I've loved it every moment of it.
Do you feel that there is a sense of, and I don't want it to come across this way because it could sound like you're living vicariously through someone, but it's not that. Rather, you're still serving through their service. So does
Right.
that kind of, is that part of that feeling where for
Yeah.
you didn't necessarily leave service, it continued, you just changed basically roles. You just took one
Correct.
uniform off, put another one off, took another one off rather, and put another one on. But now looking at the day when he hangs it up and says, "Okay, you know, it's been a ride." What does thinking of that do for you now? Because it's almost like you didn't have a separation from service. You stayed in service. You just are in a
Right.
different position. When you think about that, talk to me about the feelings of that because you've pretty much been in service for all these years combined now.
Correct. So yeah, I don't feel like I'm living through my husband, like you said. Um, I feel like I'm helping, you know, helping him succeed and entail helping our whole family succeed. The thought that the day when he does hang up the hat, it's a lifestyle change for us. It's a, you know, comfort zone, comfort blanket, if you will, gone.
Hmm.
So it's scary for me. I will say that I do worry more about him. I think it's a huge change. I went from service member to, you know, wife, so I still kind of lived the life and got to change gradually. It's going to be a huge change for him, pretty quick.
Mm. Now, how would you say for someone out there, right, who may be going to their first deployment, you know, and they're saying, Alex, you know, you're so strong. I get it. You know, you're super momming it. Got it. You're
Mhm.
resilient. You have all these things I didn't have. I never served, so I don't have that extra strength that you have. But what would you say would be something practical that you would encourage someone out there who may be getting ready for their first deployment, right? They got married and they're together and never really dealt with that separation of that whole,
Right.
like that sea bag gets packed. And when you see him kind of go or her go, it gets real quick. Like, oh, separation time. What would you encourage or say for someone out there who may be feeling with some of that uncertainty of like, I don't know if I could deal with this?
So my biggest advice for every wife, in general, but definitely through a deployment, is you take it day by day. Don't sit and think about the what ifs. Don't sit and think about the worst scenarios. You go minute by minute, day by day. Uh, when you go to bed that night, you thank whoever you believe in for making it through another day, and know that tomorrow you will get up, the day will start, you will continue, you know, and soon enough, days turn into months, months turn into your spouse coming home, and you've made it through another deployment.
Hmm.
Hmm.
What I want to ask you about this image, and I
Oh
want
no.
you to tell me. Well, no, we're not. It's not one of those Amy images. We're done. We're done.
Okay.
We're done with that debauchery of
I was
whatever she
like,
was
oh,
bringing up. So we've moved on. But tell me, you know, what is the first thing that comes to your mind looking at this image?
There's no.
That's for you.
I don't see it.
There's no image.
What?
I'm
Oh,
like, is this a Joker.
We're-
No,
we're-
it didn't pop.
We're waiting for the drum roll.
Oh, no.
Big reveal.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That
Is
is.
this a test? Is this a test question because it's blank or what?
Oh no. That
Just
is-
tell us, Alex, what do you see?
What do you see?
Actually, so yeah, that is weird. It did
Oh,
not.
hallucinations. Do you see? You know. Can
You
we
know
talk-
what? I know what's going on here. I'm gonna blame Amy now for this because I think there's some Amy voodoo going on in this situation
Uh-oh.
here. So there's that part. I'll bring it back up, Brian. Over to you. Some of your thoughts or questions you may have for Alex.
Yeah. Well, Alex, and when I served, I was single. I was young. I didn't have the family to worry about. But the one thing that I can say for sure is that anybody who has put the uniform on has a very deep appreciation for the families of those who are wearing the uniform. Do you see any kind of difference, in how you're received or perceived, I guess you could say, as a milspouse between the civilian population, when you go out in the community somewhere? I mean, you're in Korea right now. Obviously, it's really different. But, when you're in the States or, elsewhere, when you run into civilians, do you see any kind of difference in their mentality or?
So I would say there's kind of generally two groups of people that I've come in contact with. The supporters of the military and think that being a military wife is an honorable, wonderful thing and, way to go. And then I feel like there's the other group that kind of doesn't understand the military, and then they categorize a spouse as just a military spouse. And I always try to say there's so much more into being just a military spouse. I mean, that is the worst phrase as a spouse to hear because of all that we do go through and all that we do. For somebody to walk a mile in our shoes would be amazing so that they would truly understand.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, and have you noticed your children, their indoctrination, I guess or adaptation to that life as they've gotten older?
So, my little ones were born into the military life, as were the older three. But our older three, when we had to leave, stayed in San Antonio. But the younger ones, it is a comfort to know that all of the kids that they're going to school with are other military children, and that their parent may or may not be deployed. I mean, it's been really cool. My kids know when somebody's parent is deployed, and they'll come home and tell me, "Oh, mom, so and so's dad or mom is deployed. They're having a hard time." And I just remind them how they felt when dad was deployed, and what can they do to help make that person feel a little bit better.
Yeah. We always entertain these questions about what do we think of our service? Would we do it again? Now that you are wearing the mother spouse hat, as a veteran, even, what kind of perspective do you have, when you talk to your kids about maybe them eventually serving? Have they brought it up?
Kids that it's either books or boots. Oh, there's my Aaron.
There we go.
There we go. So first thought that comes to your mind for this picture. That's what I was trying to bring up.
Brings tears to my eyes every time.
Oh.
And I'm so proud. I have been in Aaron's life since he was 5, 6. So to see him go from a little boy to an adolescent to this amazing young man that he has become, and then standing next to his dad, I'm beyond proud of who he is. And I'm so proud of Alan for being the example that he is to all of his children.
Nice. That's tremendous.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
And,
cool.
like I told all of our little ones, out of high school, it's either books or boots. And that's kind of, we're trying to lay the foundation of you take school serious or you go ahead and join the military, which is also okay. And so I will tell you, my youngest, who is 8, he is all about his dad and all about trying to follow in his dad's footsteps. And then my oldest, who is 11, is kind of like, well, Mom, I think I might go to college. And I said, oh, that's wonderful. Do it. And then my girls are kind of right down the middle. You know, they think it's amazing that Mom did it. When they see pictures, they always ask, oh my God, Mom, you actually had a life before we were born. And I'm like, yeah, I did. So they're
So that was training to prepare for you. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah, right. But you know, to answer your question, I again 1,000 times over. I will tell you, if I wasn't as old as I am, I would love to join the military again. But it was kind of, you know, support Alan because I didn't want to do the dual military role or not have kiddos, and so my kids are my everything.
And
Nice.
emphasis on she would join the Army again.
Army
Period.
Yes,
again.
Sealed,
okay.
signed, delivered. Just in case
That's
Amy
right.
was getting her hopes up. One of the best pictures, Alex, that, you know, when we were talking in having our military children of the military of service members and having those conversations with our kids, I thought was amazing. Is this image, which I think to me was just like
Yes.
this by far kind of just tells
Yep.
an amazing amount of stories.
Yes.
When you see this here, and literally again going back to the picture of you and your husband and you guys being together, and now fast forward to being able to kind of create this example, what does this picture kind of say to you looking at it, right? In hindsight, looking at it all together. For me, it's like a culmination, but I want to hear your thoughts.
So let me give you a little bit of the background for this picture. We were at his graduation. It was freezing outside. And of course, I'm the mother of all pictures. And so I always want a picture. And so I was like, guys, I want a picture. Can I get a picture? And I said, I want you saluting dad, you know. And so, of course, I put them together. And bless Aaron's little heart, straight out of basic training, he was so nervous. He looks at me and he's like, Alex, what do I do? And I said, what do you mean? He goes, how do I do this? And I said, you just stand facing your dad and you render your salute. And of course he was taught how to salute in basic training, but I had to do it for him and show him, you know, the appropriate way. And so this picture, not only am I proud of it, but it makes me laugh because of the story behind it. And I love, you know, Aaron comes to me a little bit more, I think, because I was enlisted, and he only knows dad as being an officer, even though Alan was enlisted in his younger years. So I always love that he comes to me a little bit over dad.
Yeah.
Mom wins.
Yeah.
I threw a fit about that picture. I wanted them to use that picture in the assets, and they were like, it's not going to work because the way that it's set up, you couldn't see them. Like, it's the best picture. It's the best picture. But I also think what did you think about the video that Alan did for Aaron?
I loved the video. Alan and Aaron are both a man of few words. They get, you know, they just say it real quick and they're done. So when I saw the video for Alan, it kind of made me chuckle because I knew he was struggling with making it as long as it was. But and I knew Aaron was not going to know how to react to it, and he didn't. But he, you know, he did call us and said it meant a lot. So that was a great video.
Yeah, he was not expecting that at all. I was like, hey, so talk to me about this. Check this out, and it was like,
Yeah.
there's a little quiver of the lip, little quiver.
Yeah. So you guys could go check out at the YouTube channel. Go check it out. But they did an interview, and DP surprised Aaron with a video from Alan, giving a short, I think it was like a minute video, telling him that he was proud of him, and you know, and Aaron at first was like smiling, and then got real serious, like he was trying not to cry, and then he made the comment that it had been a while since he's seen him, so it meant a lot. So that was cool. It's cool to see those things.
So a few things I wanted to kind of bring up some comments. So for you specifically, Alex, I think a lot of these you appreciate. So we'll first start with the fact that Lisa has shared a few points to say here. So let's see. Lisa wanted to share and say, yes, Alessandra, facts on facts on facts. So hard as far as the journey of having to do the things that you did. and she shared some points here. Having kids cry for their father and knowing that you can't change anything and only try to explain what's going on in the moment
Right.
is obviously part of that process. Let's see here. One of the things she shared here for you as well, Sandra, your kids know they know the true superheroes they have in their parents. She also wanted to share, God bless you and your family truly. And then as you began to share, she said also, cripe. Oh my God, Alessandra, I said I would not cry tonight. So why are you doing this to me?
Oh, thanks, Lisa.
So she's definitely sending some support and sharing love your way. So I wanted to definitely share that as we're relating, and talking to that point. So for sure, I thought those are some good points for folks to be able to relate to that. Let me see here. Uh, oh, okay. I think in one moment, Lisa said your mic went a little hot on your side, Brian. So I'm gonna go ahead and blame Amy for that. So there's that part. Um, so
Yep.
I think to the picture specifically, being able to not use the picture with a salute. I think the story is amazing to have that because I think it's cool to know kind of how that picture came about. To Amy's point, at least we were able to use it today, so it still got used
Yeah.
nonetheless. So there's that part. But I think it's amazing again to be able to have that legacy. I want to say it was LB, one of our viewers who is with us as well. He served, his son served, and now his grandson is
Yeah.
serving. And that
Wow.
legacy, it's like literally he was like, 80 to so and so, my son, 90 to so and so, my
Yes,
grandson,
yeah.
2019, 4 cars. And I was like, or wherever he's at right now, I was like, holy cow, this is amazing. And I think
That
really
is,
being able to, in your case, right, supporting and being able to say that, right, boots or books, pick one or the other. You have to
yeah.
have the ability to pick one or the other and be supportive of that. And I think that's really speaks volume. A question I wanted to ask you is, and then if anyone in the audience has any questions, feel free to type them. So we still have some folks here. I'm going to read Chevy's letter as well, which I think would be pretty cool, something new we're doing. But if Chevy, Lisa, or anyone in the comments has a question, feel free to type it for Alex to be able to pass it forward as well. What would you say for someone who maybe, has a teenager and a teenager may be looking at service, but maybe they don't come from service and it's kind of a new thing. What would you say to a parent out there who may be thinking like, Alex, I don't know about this. Like, I'm a little uneasy. He tells me the benefits and, he went to an Air Force recruiter, but then he got his mind right, went to the Army guy. And apparently I have a whole bunch of good stuff to share here. What would you say, regardless of branch, for a parent out there who may be struggling with this? Especially, like I said, you have some single parents who are struggling, and now they're kind of coming to these decisions. And because of the fact that you have the mindset of books or boots, being supportive, being able to do that, what would you share or say to someone out there who maybe may not have a friend to ask to say, well, talk to me from the parent side? What would you suggest? What are your thoughts for someone?
So I would tell every parent, if they have not grown up around the military or are familiar with it, talk to the recruiter. I mean, even Aaron, when Aaron joined, I talked to his recruiter. Alan talked to his recruiter. His mom talked to his recruiter. We made sure that recruiter knew us just as well as he knew Alan. So talk to the recruiters, get the information for yourselves, make sure they're able to answer all of your questions, and then go online and do some research. There's so many videos nowadays about basic training and what they go through. And honestly, basic training has changed so much. When Aaron went, he got to keep his phone at times. I mean,
Yeah.
we were getting calls regularly when
Army.
You know what?
Army.
Let's end the show. What is happening here? Oh Lord.
I,
That,
however,
that's an Army thing. That is not an Air Force thing.
my thought, if that's what the Army's doing, the Air Force has it
Please,
way
I
easier.
don't know what she's talking about. If they kept their cell phones, they're on a laptop over there, freaking on MySpace and Facebook and Twitter, and matter of fact, they're probably recording some TikTok on the Air Force side of the house. Every time every time I see
if they
TikTok,
get
is an Air
breakfast in
Force person.
bed.
Let's just put that out there.
Yep.
They're trying to get breakfast in bed. Do you want your lobster tonight or do you want it now?
Exactly. Like she's ordering on the tablet what she's gonna eat. You know what I mean? Like, hey, Airman Lacey, what would you like to eat? Hold on.
Yeah. It's they're laying not. They're probably not even laying in barracks, right? They're probably laying in these like suites.
No, please. And Frank, hello, on the Marine side of the house, he's over there with a flip phone. That's about all they got. If that, old school flip phone. Flip, I made it. Break it.
You know what's interesting too is Alex. So two things that I thought about is what DP was talking about when they make when they get that phone call and they have to go. That happened to you with Alan and Aaron. Alan with the COVID, and Aaron with the riots.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So how
Aaron
was that?
Started, and all we heard was, "I'm being activated. I don't know where I'm going. Can't tell you guys anything else. Love you. I'll call whenever I can." And it was a good three to 4 days before we heard from him, which was scary the entire time. As a parent, you about their safety, and then knowing that he's being activated for riots was just terrifying. Once we got a hold of him, he let us know kind of what was going on, and that was great. Alan, when COVID hit, I just remember being at home with the kids. They were out of school. We were doing homework, and he just called and said, "Babe, I'm not going to make it home tonight. There's a lot going on. Have you heard of, have you been watching the news about COVID?" So those are scary phone calls to get. The one good thing about the COVID call was we were at JBLM, and I knew eventually he would have to come home. But those are phone calls you dread every time.
A question for you from Lisa. What do you do to get through the hardest days, the ones that nearly break you? Of course, besides faith.
So, Lisa, my other little secret, I love to go to the gym and lift weights, and to just get my going and my blood pumping really does help me, crank up my music, run it out, lift my weights, and I just feel refreshed when I'm done.
You guys kind of look alike a little bit.
What? Oh, like
Lisa
a little.
And Alesandra kind of look alike a little bit.
Oh, distant cousins. What the?
Yeah.
For the record, I did call it when I did say that Alex had probably him beat on push-ups. See, I called it from the picture from back when. PT Stud,
sure.
I said, okay, that one over there.
Yeah.
She's the one. Talk about
grade
me on the regular scale, not that regular scale. I know.
Yes. I'm telling you, has Alex even PT'd in the last 8 years or?
So, actually, yes, Ames, he has. He has started PTing on his own. Getting older, it's definitely taking a toll on us.
We're moving on to questions. This is not Amy time no more. Frank said, "What is a cell phone?" The Marines want to know. A question that came in. It might take too much space up here, but for Sandra and Amy, from a civilian single mom, and what I know now of military service, y'all are rock stars. Even with two parents, you face things civilian parents can't imagine. Then add deployment and war, etc. I just can't even imagine. Thank you all. From Lisa, running at the chat in the background. So this is for y'all there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's see. Open question here for all from Chevis. Team, what do you do? What do you hold on to philosophically to get through troubles and hardships? What drives you to carry forward? Alex first, and then maybe Brian and Amy. I already know Amy's answer is the Air Force. They have room service for this.
One more lobster tail.
Gosh.
I don't need lobster. I eat MREs.
I don't want Amy. I'm already ready to go. I'm still thinking over here.
All right, Amy, over to you. Alex is devising a true answer. Let's see what you have. But no, seriously, on your side of the house,
I sing.
Sometimes they what Alex, what's the saying of fire? Like you don't fight fire with fire. Is that what's that saying? Like if you meet something with the same type of energy. So Amy basically is fighting it straight on is the whole thing. But to her point, we so there's a Raz thing there's a Raz that we do with the mic when it comes to Amy. But she does do this for real though. We don't get to see too much of it. I am a witness. I have heard her sing. She did give it did work, so it's a thing. But for
Mm-hmm.
you, Amy, again, it's for those watching. We always kind of joke about the mic and all that, but
Yeah.
we know you do sing. But one, answer the question, but then also tell me what does that do for you psychologically when you can kind of tune in and go into that space for yourself.
Gosh, I think when I read your question, the first thing I thought of was my kids. I feel like, they're my reason why, um, to keep going. And yeah, I would say my kids, I'm thinking about, okay, you know, t- not all days will be hard days, but and I think, one piece of advice that my ex did give me that I think was very good was when he was getting ready to be gone for a year, he said, um, when he could tell I was having a hard time before he was leaving, he said, it's okay if you go in the bathroom and cry for
Mm.
15 minutes and just let it all out. Wash your face and come back out. And that's something that has stuck with me. So sometimes I'll do that. And, even Jen, the therapist who has talked about, what she does in between patients, she washes her hands and she'll walk around the block and remember, like, okay, let go of what isn't for us to worry about, and something else is to focus on, what's your better than nothing day, or what's your better than nothing. And so some days that might just be getting out of bed. Some days that might just be like, going on the couch and watching a movie with a kid. So I think, knowing that it's okay not to be okay sometimes, and that, that everybody goes through those times, but, go in the bathroom, cry, wash your face, and come back out, or,
Mm-hmm.
just whatever. Yeah. So it just depends on the situation too. I think, depending on what the situation is, remembering that, I have three people that are watching me, and that, are going to be, one day on their own. And I want them to know that it's okay not to be okay too, but to get back up and to do something about it, and to not just stay stagnant in that negative space when times are hard.
Brian, what about you?
Well, I know it might sound cliche to some, but for me, it really is truly a lifestyle. And when it comes to troubling times and hardships, really the strongest place I can go, if I'm smart enough, is to go to my knees and well, I don't get on my knees very often anymore, but it's, it's a whole nother
Oh, I love
problem.
that.
It's a little hard getting up, but uh, but I going in prayer, reading the Bible. My faith is literally the only reason I'm still here, and so it's not just a passing feel good thing. It's something that for me it has to define who I am. There's nothing I do or say or think that doesn't stem from that as a foundation. Now that doesn't mean that everything I say and do is correct, but it's there as a foundation. Now, yeah, in addition to that, though, yes, I have my DP teddy bear because the
Effective today.
reality is, effective today, I have my DP teddy bear. And
Mhm.
if nothing else, what this DP teddy bear symbolizes is that the other thing that I do is I rely on my friends because the
Yeah.
friends that you see here are my family as well.
Mhm.
Um, and somebody on the team, I can't remember who, made a comment about maybe you should check on addiction therapy for wanting to be connected to everybody on the team so often. And I'm like, I long for that. I long for that, just being connected with them, and that's a source of strength for me as well.
Mhm.
I love that.
Yeah, that was good. And good question too. That's a
Yeah.
good question.
Alex, over to you. Any thoughts?
So I agree with Brian. I turn to prayer a lot, and my faith. I also journal a lot, and I found that through journaling, I'm able to just kind of get a sense of release and relief. And I really have enjoyed kind of through the years going back and reading my journals and seeing what I've made it through, what I was thinking at that time and where I'm at today. The other, I'm kind of a list person. So before I go to bed each night in my little brain, I come up with a list of things I'd like to accomplish the next day. And so for me, as I check off each thing I do, it kind of just helps keep me going. It keeps my own self-esteem / self-worth going. And if I can add something to the list, that's just going to enhance my day, I do. But my biggest thing is prayer. I go to prayer a lot. I really dig into my faith.
And that's a great question. I would add to that similar points. I would take it actually pretty army in the sense of going by the numbers. It's a military thing, right? We do everything by the numbers. And if you think about it, right, it's step 1, step 2, step 3. And what people don't realize is that that's really how everything is done to a good degree. And understanding sometimes, the universe, your faith, what have you, your purpose, it brings you and shows you and reminds you of the path you're supposed to be on. And sometimes you kind of see those cyclical things of like, oh, there goes this thing again. I'm like, well, maybe that's a bumper, or that's the universe, or that's your higher self or your belief system trying to put you in a place that you're supposed to be. I would argue that, and we shared this earlier, but this, again, we talked about the clubhouse first piece, right? So I'll give you all a quick, hack on this. So this was something that we applied for in Clubhouse that was literally, we put no stock in this whatsoever. So it was like, we're not going to there's millions of people on this application, and we're not going to put in for this. Rewind, there's no veteran network because rewind a few months ago, life is doing what it's doing, businesses are going a certain way, and literally I went to Clubhouse to just not freaking try to jump off a cliff. So I just found therapy in going to an app that had no video because I didn't want to see anybody, but I wanted to just talk and get it out and just kind of just hold space and do something. And I was just gone for a while, and I was just doing my thing in this app, and no one knew what the heck I was doing. And eventually I'm like, hey, you guys, come check this stuff. But I had to go to kind of advanced party. And fast forward to now, what seemed to be bleak, what seemed to be negative, what seemed to be like, okay, all has been lost. The plans I thought was going to be this way did not work that way. My concept of my previous business didn't go the way it should have. Veterans Network in my mind was going to go one way, but it didn't go that way. Then another setback, and then the lawyer's saying you can't do this, you got to go that way, and all the reasons of like, well, Lord, smite me, mighty smite her. Like, what else can go wrong here? And now, fast forward to being in this place, it's saying, okay, we're going to apply for this. Lisa reaches out. She's like, I see it on Twitter, first of all. And of course, I'm a tester. So I'm like, why not, right? What are we going to lose? You're going to say no? I already know it's going to be a no. When you got PTSD, you're your worst critic. So guess what? I'm already expecting negativity anyway. So you can't hurt me because I already did it to myself. So in my mind, I'm like, hey, it'd be cool. Let's put in for it, right? What are we going to lose, right? We apply for this thing, forget all about it. And it's a Sunday night at about 2 a.m. To Brian's point, this is where friendships become family. We apply to this, thing, and a whole month passes, forget all about it. I see an email pop in. It said, got some good news. I said, what good news? I'm going to say, 15% on my car insurance? Unbeknownst to me, until the team tells me the next day, I was on vacation, had left, the application went in. Lisa applies, but the application went in my name. So it's DP applying to this thing, which to me, it's like, there is no way in hell I'm applying to this as myself because I don't want to do this. I'm thinking, oh, the team. They're like, no, it's not the team, it's you. I'm like, oh, hell to the no. My point being is, what seemed to be a closed door at one moment where I saw negativity and darkness, created an opportunity to go to a place, to create things, to have opportunities to meet the people we have here. We would not know TMR unless we would have known Joey. We met Joey in Clubhouse because Joey put us in contact with TMR is the reason we even have someone like Lisa, because that's how we got Lisa to come and find us. So when you start to look at like those setbacks that may open doors for us, You just don't know when one door closes how another one can open. So in December, many of doors had closed. Businesses did not go how they should, right? How do we go ahead and now navigate this space? I have to go regroup. I have to try to find that inner voice of, okay, what am I going to do here? Right? Let me just go with flow. For me, it has to flow. I'm trying to fight something. It's not working. I have to flow with it. Going to this app today, we have the biggest group in Clubhouse. The Veterans Network group is the biggest veteran group. We had this cockamamie idea of putting together a veteran show. They picked out of 5,000 people, in an application with millions. And again, understand that the way it was posted, many people didn't even know about it. So if I was not just the person that always researches and follows and reads a blog or does a thing, I would have not known about it. So I just happened to come across it, thought it was interesting. It was vague. We applied for it. We didn't know the details of it. Fast forward, we get accepted. And one of the things that I would say is that sometimes these things happen, but when I was in those rooms by myself, Brian was there. You know what I mean? He stood in the line with me. Amy was there. She stood in the line with me. And it's those people that are with you when you see that negativity and no one is with you, whether you're in service, whether you're a male spouse, and saying, hey, Alex, I'm having a hard time. How the hell am I supposed to get through this? And when the time comes and you have the opportunity to do something, well, guess what? A high tide will rise all boats. So literally, it's like, okay, hey, I got picked. I'm like, yeah, we got picked. There is no fucking me without we. There is no individuality, right? There is no lieutenant colonel without the spouse. There is no second generation without the mom that went ahead and supported that. So I share this point to say that, yes, we got accepted for the creator first. And what this does, it gives us now a platform to bring on our first show, the Marine rapper and Maria, who we met in Clubhouse. So it's always about service, right? Because someone else is going to be like, well, I'm going to jump up there and show my skills. No, my skill is to be able to create space for others to be able to do a thing. What we do is we connect people, we create opportunities. And today, Alex gets to meet Lisa, and Lisa is able to gain something from Alex. And I think if we begin to focus on that, that to me is the philosophy. It's literally, one of my favorite sayings that I would say is my philosophy is Maya Angelou's, one of her quotes, which is, people forget what you did. They'll forget what you gave them. They'll forget all these things, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. They'll never forget that moment when you were at your darkest and you called and Alex said, hey, I was just thinking about you and I just brought you a coffee. I don't remember what you brought me, but I know that you thought about me. And I think as we're looking at Mental Health Awareness Month, which is also what's happening this month, it's a month for the military, but we're also looking at mental health awareness. People are hurting, right? Alex is out there overseas in Asia and Korea, and guess what? Yeah, you're strong and you have your faith, but there's someone who may not have any of those things. They may not have their faith. They may not have their fitness. And all they have is their depression and their anxiety and maybe their vices and their liquor or their substances. So whatever it is you can hold on to or however you can reach out, it's about creating space to be able to have the ability to create something unique, something that's new. And I'm sharing this because, again, we talked about it in the beginning, but I think it's really pertinent now. What we're trying to do with Veterans Network on Clubhouse, understand it is $1 billion company that just moved to $4 billion. They're going to open up, Android, millions of users. And to think for 1 second, like, I don't care about failing, but the responsibility for me is more what happens if they do pick us? What happens if there are 20 shows in this application that everyone can download? And you see one show that says Veteran Network front and center. One show that showcases that we're not just disabled people, but we have also the ability to be able. Disabled does not mean unable. Just because we've done things, we're not just what people think we are. We are mothers, we're brothers, we're fathers, we're sisters, we're artists, right? We're musicians, we're business folks. We're everything. We're a subset, a microcosm of the world at large. And if we can reset the conversation and highlight the amazingness of our community, that's really what it's all about. So for me, this whole Creator First, program, it's really about saying, again, I said it before, we're the advanced party, period. The advanced party means that I knew my gift in life is to see technology before folks understand what it is. What is this Clubhouse app? Just trust me, it's going to be something. I can't explain to you why, but just go with me here. And if you find people that have the ability to say, hey, look, I don't know what the hell you see, but if you're seeing it, I'll go with you. You slowly begin to start making a pathway for someone. And tomorrow, something new can be created. But by being the advanced party, by literally kicking that front door, and making space for someone else, that's what's amazing about being able to do this. For us today, it's being able to do this in Clubhouse. Now we have potential sponsors. We have some other networks who want to reach out. But every Friday night, we were here with 2 people watching, with 10 people watching, with 100 people watching, with thousands watching. It doesn't matter. The fact remains that someone out there today may have been alone, but you chose to be with us. And if we could create space and spend time with you on a Friday, right? There's content. We do interviews. You can see things on the replay. But right now, we're making an effort to be here live. Alice could be doing other things, as can Brian, as can I, but we choose to hold space. And by doing that, we go from awareness to put action together. So for me, it's about how we can create space for others by the numbers, right? It started off bleak, but look where we're at now. In 6 months, where will we be? We didn't have hats, but now we have them. And now we can give a homeless veteran a sweater when someone buys a sweater. We can go ahead and pay it forward because we have the ability to do that. So I would say that when you kind of find your purpose, as far as the philosophy, it's that if you're in tune with why you're doing it, everything will come that you need. We know we're here to serve. Because of that, the things, the connections, the things that we need to do that service, it will come to us. The finances, the connections, the opportunities, all those things will come because we're not there for that. We're there to understand that if we can help 2 people today, imagine what we could do if we were on that front billboard of the app. Like when you open up YouTube and you see those little videos there, imagine if the first thing you saw was some veterans out there resetting the conversation, even though one of them is holding a teddy bear or 2.
Come join the Veteran Network. That's all. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So that's some points there. There's one. Let's see, where is it? Chevis had, and I loved it as well. He shared and said, "Study, study, study. Never quit learning. Develop yourself intellectually, emotionally, and spiritually. Find value in yourself through service and what you can provide to your team or family."
That's good. That's really good.
Hey, that's all right.
A few comments here, Lisa. These Friday Night Lights are truly amazing, and you wonder how y'all were nominated for Clubhouse Creators.
So let me just give Lisa a shout out because, we have a lot of weekly supporters that come, but she is so positive and she brings so much light to Friday Night Lives that it's very appreciated to see her and to know that the connection was made. Actually, like truly a connection through Clubhouse indirectly put us in connection, and now she's here every week with us, supporting us and keeping us motivated. So, and that's where we met Frank and Eric, and I wasn't going to say anything about the androids. I almost did. I stopped myself, and I was like, no, let me keep it positive for Lisa. Let me keep it positive, but yeah, but I mean, that's how we've made so many cool connections, and that's how we've been able to yeah, absolutely. That's how we've been able to, continue to do some of the cool stuff that we've done too, is by meeting these people through Clubhouse. So it's awesome.
So I want to share something that we're adding to our website specifically. We're adding another section to our site, which is going to be pretty amazing coming over. So it's going to be voices of our veterans. And Chevis, who asked a great question, is one of our first that we're putting up. So I wanted to share one of the essays that he submitted, which I think it's amazing and powerful. And Brian obviously going to love this stuff because there's a whole story about how one day I may or may have not wound up in a clubhouse room titled Bearded Men Reading Letters.
I'm glad that you said that because I was going to
I know you were.
comment.
Alex, I promise you, I wound up in this room. It said, black bearded men reading letters. I thought, hey, I fit the criteria. I can jump in and support maybe, right? I'm just trying to be of service. Right. Unbeknownst to me, if you've ever seen Clubhouse, it works like a stage. So think of a stage and the speakers and the audience is the audience. So when you go into a room, you're in the audience. I'm just thinking like, okay, put me in, coach. If you guys need someone to jump in, you know, I could read Espanol if you need it. As I look to my left and my right, Alex, I realize I am the only male in the audience. At which point, I scan further in the audience as I scroll, and I realize there is other men, but they are not trying to read, but trying to be read to. Again, loving all. But quickly I figured out that this was not where I needed to be. But of course, I'm like, this is a whole different story. And it was literally late night, bearded men reading to women and men who want things to be read to. I've never been able to live that down because I shared it, because I truly went in there with the best of intentions saying, oh, this is amazing. What? Bearded men reading? Bearded men don't get enough love. I want to jump in here. Oh, no. And then there's this thing they do, and this is when I had to run. So as I'm seeing all this stuff, I'm thinking like, okay, wait, let me get a vibe. What's going on? A lot of women here. Okay, this is kind of crazy, but whatever. Then they say pull to refresh, which means you take the app, you pull your finger down, and it refreshes the page. When you do that, it refreshes your icon because there's no video. So it's your profile picture that's part of this whole crew. When this happens, the bearded men all of a sudden begin to lose articles of clothing, and it becomes a little more raunchier. I'm like, sweet baby Jesus, I am out of here now. Look, we lose control. They lost control. Hey, hey, respect to y'all doing what you're doing, but we're going to keep our clothes on and read a letter in the essay today, but we will not do those things.
And you know what? I just love how DP rolls with the situations. So first of all, I just number one, I just want to say I have been waiting ever since then for DP to read me a letter. So, but so DP's in there with all of these ladies who are having these bearded men read to them, and we become privy to some DMs that are sent his way from these some of these ladies in the audience, sharing their affection for DP, because who doesn't love a good DP teddy bear, right? So they're sending him Instagram direct messages, offering their affection, I guess is one way of putting it. And DP is he just kind of calmly rolls with it and says, yeah, I'm married. I can't help you there. It's just the casual way that he's just like, yeah.
My wife has actually given me slack about this, because every time it happens, I screenshot it. It's a team account, so they see all the stuff. And one lady's like, hey, I'm looking to be a sugar mama, and I'm like, well, it's like, well, so what do you do, DP? And I'm like, well, I serve veterans. Where do you live? US of A. How can I help you? And it's like, and my wife's like, why are you still talking to these people? I'm like, because I'm on a mission. This is a work. I can't just sit here saying no. Maybe it's a veteran's wife. Maybe someone's in peril. I don't know. Maybe she's trying to warm up to be like, I'm in danger. Help. I don't know. So I have to keep the conversation going. She says she's a sugar mama. I said, great choice in life. How can I help you? I'm not discriminating.
I think she was asking, will you pour some hot sugar on me? And DP's response is, what must be going on? Is there something I can do to help you?
I'm telling you, you got to roll the punches. Alex, we literally got accepted into the Amazon Live program. We could actually stream live into Amazon too. A whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
We're doing it live, and of course, one person shows up in there. And next thing you know, here comes one person and says, hey, I have a rat stuck up, my rear. And I then tried to use a cat to get it out. And, I'm pretty comfortable doing these lives, so you really could stump me at this point because I've seen it and heard it all. So I'm like, well, hey, Bob, sorry to hear about the mouse. The cat can't help you there, but maybe while you're on Amazon, you get some jelly to get it out. Have a good one. Like, anybody else sit there and ignore this stuff, and I'm like, I'm not going to ignore. Like, hey, you want to make a comment? Let's talk about that rat stuck up your butt.
I was sitting there. He responded to it before I could find out how to mute that, because on Amazon, you can actually mute comments that aren't appropriate. So I'm looking for the mute button, and he's just like, yeah, I'm sorry you got that going on.
That's the best way to handle it. Just
no, it's
he does.
And what's got worse is literally all this attention from all this stuff. They're putting us on websites. They're trying to do all kinds of stuff. And I'm just saying, they're like, why is this even happening? So, and I had to take a screenshot, so you don't think it's a lie. I'm going to read it here because it's a learning lesson to folks. The message that I got said, "Hey," and I said, "Hello." The message back says, "How are you?" I said, "Good. How can I help you?" Response, "I'm fine. I need nothing but to help. If you're interested, I'm sugar mommy." My response was, "Okay, not in need or seeking that, but thank you though." Her response is, "It's fine. Can I get to know more about you?" I said, "There's not much more to know than what you see. I serve veterans." And her response is, "Good. Take care. Be well." Of course, I give the screenshot to the team. They're like, "What in the hell?" My wife's looking at me like, "Why did you respond?" Again, I'm like, "I don't know what she needed." Okay, so you're sugar mummy. I don't need sugar mummy, but hey, is there something sugar mummy needs help with? Do you have sugar baby veteran kid that needs help? I don't know.
I gotta give it to your wife. Good one.
Say what?
What?
I give it to your wife. She's a good, strong woman then.
Well, oh no, trust me. She looked at me
She don't
sideways
have
like,
no
"What?"
choice.
Yeah, she's like, "What in the hell?" I'm like, "Look, you chose this journey. Like, you knew this. Like, now it's like, look, my DMs. It's a whole different thing. It's insane. Apparently, the beard does it for folks. But now that we've kind of lightened the mood, we will not be taking down the tone. There will not be any love songs going on. We do have a theme song for Frank, but we're not going to do that as I read because that would be spooky. But this is Frank's. This is what it felt like, Alex, when I got in there. Coming home from work, there I was, hungry, thirsty. I'm like, what? What is going on here? Not what's happening here. Not what's happening here. So Chevy wrote this for us now. So, and for those that are new, you kind of get the gist of this. Sometimes you got to laugh to help from crying, and you can't be here just having all these serious moments and thoughts because it'll just be a whole bunch of folks crying about how emotional things are. So we got to keep it kind of moving around. So now that we laughed a little, let's get back serious. But Chevy wrote this, which is pretty cool. It's going to be up on veteransnetwork.club. We're going to add a new section, so you'll see it there. But it's titled Force. At approximately 0334 hours, Saturday, February 27, 2010, an 8.8 magnitude earthquake occurred off the coast of central Chile, about 21 miles underground, originating in Peru-Chile Trench. The earthquake itself only lasted 3 horrifying minutes, but the destruction had just begun. The day prior to the Chile quake, on February 26, Japan suffered a 7.0 magnitude earthquake that structurally defeated many of the waves, breaks, and fortifications the country had built to defend the coastline from destructive tides that could potentially devastate massive parts of the coastline, putting millions of people in harm's way. I remember watching buildings sway like blades of grass and watching cars jump across parking lots like children playing hopscotch. I watched large trees unroot from the ground and fall. I watched roads twist like paper and shed their topmost layers like a balled up macaroni picture. In the late hours of February 27, these huge forces of energy met and collided, somewhere deep within the ocean, causing an exponentially greater wave of energy that caused the ripples to create underwater energy formation that was invisible and undetectable for most of the duration of time that would have been beneficial to evacuate endangered people from the coastline of Japan. On February 28, a tsunami hit the coast of Japan, devastating coastline, leaving large portions of land once inhabited by families, homes, business owners, storefronts, and indigenous wildlife completely underwater. The only observational clue as to what was about to happen was that the surface of the water became completely still, much like a sheet of glass, idle tide. This is considered one of the most catastrophic and deadly collections of natural occurrences the region has ever suffered. I am not the earthquake. I don't feel like this great, uncontrollable, destructive force. Most days I feel like the tsunami, this force that lies deep down below, created by the chaos of forces beyond my comprehension, undetected below the surface, yet swift and violent, beyond my control. If the passenger seat of life in the passenger seat of life, waiting for shoreline, then realizing what I must do to touch dry land. I am not a monster. I am a good man. I have a demon inside me that was put there to help me do a job that I both despise and do very well. With a steel eye and a steady hand, I am capable of swift and deadly precision. I thrive in moments of chaos. When most would turn and run, I'll stand and face the devil, spit in his eyes and beg him to come take me. In my mind, I know it may happen one day. I may slip and lose my footing as I brace for his charge. His blade may meet my collar and sever me from the mortal coil. But I will stand ready until the day my body fails and I can no longer take up arms against his relentless front and be the barrier that beats back the darkness. Nietzsche once said, "He who fights with monsters should look to it that he himself does not become a monster." When you gaze long into the abyss also gazed into you. I am not a monster. I am a hunter of monster, a destroyer of evil men. When men take up this profession, it becomes something much greater than a job. It's more than a passion. It becomes part of the core of who you are. You become a little part of the monster so that you understand the gravity of what you must do to slay him. My frustrations with life, my meticulous nature, and my occasional petulant outbursts are all effects of a cause I once understood. I do not know what I'm fighting anymore, other than the fact that I know I'm fighting because it's what I know. I'd pick a fight with a toaster on the right day. If you best believe that the toaster would go back to the universe in the smallest pieces it possibly could manage. I don't belong in peacetime. I'm not built for it. I'm trying to adapt, but have been robbed of a lot of the closure I needed to attempt to transition. This wave of energy I've become was not intentional. I was created by forces pushing me in directions I wasn't prepared to go. Now I lie in wait, looking for shoreline, hoping that I don't wash away the good while I do what I must be done. Soon enough, once again, the tide will roll on the surface, and you will know that the sea is at peace. An Idle Tide by Chevy.
Wow.
It's good, Chevy.
Wow.
And that is how we'll kick off essays, voices of our veterans. And for those that are interested in sharing or writing or using whatever medium they have, I would encourage you to reach out to us. If you want to be anonymous, we can do that. If you want to have your name out, we can do that. So Chevy made a point to make himself known. Some folks may not want to put their name out there, and that's fine. But I think that many of us can relate to the message, to the metaphors that he used of what we deal with as veterans, as those that have stood up, to do the business. In law enforcement, you read that a lot, right? The George Orwell quote, right? Men sleep peacefully at night because violent men stand ready to do violence on their behalf. It's a unique way of life, and I think this was a great way to start this, to hopefully give voice to those that may not know how to articulate what they feel or may be able to relate to that. So one of the things that we're definitely rolling out, but again, that came to us from Chevy. Thank you, my brother, for sharing that with us.
Thank you, Chevy.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's gonna be hard to follow.
Yeah. So I'll pull up some comments here. Let's see. Chevy, before we started reading, said cracking, truly chomping at crayons. Let's see. Uh, let's see. Lisa said, "I love you, Chevy. You fit on Friday night live so well, truly." Um, you put Lisa's having all kind of allergic reactions today. So first, Alex went ahead and did it, and now Chevy's letter did this as well. God bless you truly, and this message as well. Lisa sharing, well done. And thank you for allowing us to share this. Again, I think it's one of those things that takes courage to stand up and do that. Chevy says, I was a little bit afraid. It sounds like a manifesto. Maybe it is. It isn't about destruction. It's about the understanding, the balance you need in life to take care of the good in your life. No, that came across very clear to me. So
Yeah.
I loved it for sure. And Chevy says, if you see him in the comment section, please reach out, write, message me, friend me. I'm here always. You may be lonely, but you are not alone. Frank says, amazing words.
that.
But that
Yes.
really is one of the things that Amy, we've talked about many times, right? I think, trying to do things the way we're doing it, building it the way we're building it, I think our vibe truly attracts our tribe. And those that are like-minded to us, they start to kind of align with us. So that's powerful to be able to have, folks like Chevy now, part of the family, using their art, using their words to speak for others that may not have the ability to do that. So some of the new things that we're definitely adding. So we hope that folks can check that out and support it. That's going to be over at veteransnetwork.club. For those that may have not been there, all you do is head on down. We do have a few new blogs as well that I wanted to share and highlight, specifically towards the day we're remembering today. So military spouses, the backbone of the Army. So good information here in that blog. We have also one celebrating.
What? The
What?
backbone of the Army?
I mean, look,
Why is
see,
it?
does it say service? Whoa.
You said Army. You said Army.
It's a thing. Alex got it. She didn't flinch, nor did Brian.
Isn't the Army really the
Don't
main
do that.
representation of the service?
Do not
I'm
do
just-
You literally said the backbone of the Army.
The backbone of the well, it's so as a senior NCO.
Of the armed forces.
Yes, the armed forces, but we coined that in the military. The NCOs are the backbone of the Army, so that's
That's
a
right.
thing.
That's fine, but make sure you include all forces.
Let's go ahead and bring this here. The backbone of the armed forces, including
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Amy's amazing Air Force, which
Thank you.
came from the Army. So technically, Papa Army says, "Okay, baby Air Force."
You'll always be our child.
Look at this. Look at this, Alex. I'll be big Army, and this is little Air Force. You have a nice big budget and nice planes. But remember where you started. Good night, mijo. So check out veteransnetwork.club. Check out the blog section. Some amazing things that are there. Check out the team. We always say that click here to learn more about them. Don't look at me. Look at the service dog. Scroll down past my bio. You'll see Legend. He's our chief morale officer.
Legend.
He is
Where's
named.
Legend? Where's Legend Cam?
He's like, I'm out of here. He went ahead and said, look, this whole thing about you reading to people seems shaky. I was with you last time. You were in a weird room. And now I don't believe you. So he was like, nah, screw this stuff. I'm out of here.
He's afraid of Sugar Mama coming back.
No, he said Sugar Mommy's not going to try to take my dog. So screw that noise. So there's that part. Legend is named after Chris Kyle, Navy SEAL, RIP. Chris Kyle, the organization MK9 Service Dog, reached out to the family, was able to coordinate that. So his namesake Legend coincides with him, with all the names that he had in service for his records and things that he did. So the man, the myth, the legend, that's part of the naming convention there. But we have some amazing folks down here. You'll be able to see the team who we have. Don't worry too much about Amy over there. She has a mic. We need to put a mic next to her picture, so that's not working. I'm bringing this up here so that people can see here. That is Lisa. She tries to not come on camera, so boom, put you on camera. Burned.
I know. And shout out to Lisa too. When DP was talking about the clubhouse thing, she was supposed to get a video DP was supposed to get a video to her to finish the application.
Yeah. About
And,
that, what
she
had happened
like,
was.
You know what? You didn't get it to me. We're doing it anyways. I'm gonna get this application in.
and we did. So
Yes.
check out again. We're gonna add more stuff here for the clubhouse. What we're doing, so you'll see information here, how to book a room, how to get in there. So there's good stuff that's coming to the website. We're gonna add an artist side as well for our musician artists and collaborators. If you go to the swag shop, you see it there. Buy a shirt, hoodie, or sock, and one in kind is given to a homeless veteran. So that supports that there. We've seen the swag that we wear. Jay is one of the artists behind that.
Yep.
I personally, I think I need to find a way. Brian, let's make a note. There's something here wrong with the website. Why is it the main marquee sweater has the Air Force? I'm pretty sure that was supposed to say Army. So
Yeah, there was a mess up. I think
golly.
somebody was having some really rich, buttery food
Apparently,
whenever they were, when they were laying this out, and so they thought Air Force.
people were asked the questions. We got them. Hats are in stock. You'll see the information. United States disabled veteran. I trained, I served, I conquer. It's not about making a point to say disabled. It's about breaking the stigma of disability, saying, hey, yes, I'm still here. Yes, I have a service dog. Yes, I might have a setback. But like in true military fashion, we go through, around, above, or find a way. Unless you're in the Air Force, you kind of fly above it. And that's that part. So, but ultimately, you have literally a lot of amazing things that are happening here. So make sure to sign up so you know what's going on there. Our blogs, the videos. People have asked questions about what we use to stream and do things. Check out the affiliate link. We are on Amazon. We're on YouTube. We're doing a lot of things. So you can support us by clicking on that little Amazon thing. And whatever you buy, they'll give a few shekels our way. It doesn't increase your price. So there's,
You guys ship APO?
I'm sorry?
Do you ship APO?
I believe we have actually shipped some APO. So the swag shop that is fueled by FG Apparel is also veteran owned and operated. So we are a full turnkey veteran owned operated collaborative network. But yeah, I believe we've done that. Yes. Amy had something.
Yeah, I had a client that he was in Sri Lanka, and there was something a little different that FG Apparel did, but they were able to get it, and I believe he received it. So I think so.
Yeah. A few comments here. So Jay, who has
I was just about to say, where is Jay and Jess?
he's in the comments here. So Alex, last week rather, Jay, him and I go back in service. You were in service, so you know this. After 20 years, there's not much to say, right? So we've known each other for too long at this point. His spouse, though, a civilian, made a point to MRE Live on the show last week. It was reminiscent of Amy's situation. If you missed that, go back to last week. Trust me, it is by far the only episode I've ever rewatched because I don't like seeing myself on camera. And it was hilarious. Jay is on the mend, feeling better. He was stricken with the COVID. After a few days of him being quiet, Amy, Brian, and myself and him were in a group chat, whatever. And everybody's all like, oh, feel better, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, hey, man, are you dead yet? Oh, you responded? Hey, you're here. That's what matters.
Yeah, then for the Clubhouse app, he tells them, I don't care if you're sick or not. Get a bucket and puke next to it.
Well, exactly. What I got to do with me? Like, your fingers aren't broken.
Right.
Oh, so special shout out here to my brother Roderick. This individual here is also a creator first from Clubhouse.
Hey, Roderick.
He is and I want to pull it up to read it right here because it's awesome, and I want to do justice by how it is written up. Actually, no, what am I talking about? Let's go ahead and show y'all the good stuff here. So let me show y'all. So Roderick is also a creator first. He is the first and only certified official Black UFO expert. So it's about to get pretty extraterrestrial when we have a conversation with my brother and bring him on here. But let's go take a journey over to Clubhouse, and I will show y'all that. So if you go to Clubhouse, you click on the blog, you'll see the Meet the Creator First finalists. So I'm going to go and jump over to...
Is that on your computer?
Huh?
Is that on your computer?
Yeah.
Is that on your... Oh, I didn't know you could do that.
That's how I always do it.
I thought it was only for your iPhone.
No, it's always been... Oh, my God. Alex, we've been doing this for a long time. Amy was today years old when she figured it was a computer. Goodness gracious. Focusing on my brother Roderick, uncover the possibility, I'm reading over here so you see it, the possibility of new truths and lies you never knew were told in a recurring UFO and extraterrestrial focused show hosted by one of the world's only black certified UFO investigators. This show asks for believers to not look at the stars, but what is happening here on Earth with those who have been impacted. That is one of the shows in the running for the creator first. I don't know about you guys, but I am definitely trying to. When he announced it, I was like, hey Roderick, why am I levitating? What is happening? Am I being beamed up right now? But amazing people, and even being able to have that, right? Like right now, I'm sharing this with you all, but it's because we have the ability to be a part of this. So literally, Roderick sent me a text message. He's like, "Hey, can you talk?" I'm like, "I'm doing it live, but you can come on over and check us out." And here he is giving us some support. So I definitely wanted to shout him out. If you are in Clubhouse, definitely check him out, Roderick Martin. He is also in the running. Roderick, if you could let me know on your side, brother, do you have a date for your pilot? So we're all pitching pilots. So these are all the pilots that are being presented. So, for example, we have a variety of amazing things. Ours is being fixed as we speak, but we have pitched ours as the Veterans Network front and center through through impactful interviews with veterans, game changers, and rainmakers, plus audience exchange. We create a community with compassion and quality content, focusing on mental and physical health, entrepreneurship, entertainment, and more. AKA everything we're doing right now, but we're going to do it in Clubhouse. So it's audio. We're going to interview two people. It's going to be amazing. And then we have, great. So Roderick's show his pilot is airing on May 20th, 8:30 p.m. Central. We're on the 21st, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. Hopefully by then, fingers crossed, Lisa, because I know you're Samsung, they'll have access for you all. But really, those that are watching this, if you have the ability to support Roderick on his show, they're judging on his content, how he can moderate in the audio-only environment, but also the audience. How many people show up? How many people stay? So really, supporting him, being able to be with him in his room, I think is going to be huge. So we're trying to support each other because it'd be great to have shows like this. Again, we're coming at it from the veteran space. Roderick, again, I want to just focus on just how amazing it is for him to be doing what he's doing, being, again, someone that doesn't look like others in his field, being the first African-American, right, UFO investigator out there doing what he's doing. I think it's just breaking grounds, and we need to support each other. So I really just wanted to give him his flowers, one, for hanging out with us and supporting us in what we're doing here, but also giving him a shout out for his show. So I cannot let Roderick come on the show until I get some sound effects for him. So I have to get like a UFO type of thing. So imagine if we're going to do a Friday Night Live, bring Roderick in, it's going to be like, so instead of like a doorbell, he comes in. Oh, it's going to be crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Awesome.
You know what one I think is going to be fun to watch is the serial killer dating one. So it's this.
I'll read it to you right now. We're giving shout outs to everybody. Serial killer. Listen to this, Alex. Serial killer speed dating. Eligible daters try to find a potential match, all while trying to figure out and avoid the one who is a serial killer. Shoot your shot has never been so real. So it's like a game show. They're actors, not real serial killers, but it's pretty much like a game show, and one of them is actually like, a serial killer. So if you pick the wrong one, you're dead. So
Elliot applied to be the guy.
Did he?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Well, for a fact he's definitely going to be a serial killer, so there's that part. So jig is up.
There you go.
No, like he applied to be the one that gets a date because he's trying to find his person or whatever. So he wants to.
You know what? Look, I'm not giving him I'm not trying to help him no more in his love life. Forget him. He needs an iPhone. But
he's looking for love in all the wrong places.
But yeah, amazing folks. Head on over to clubhouse.com. If you go to the bottom, you will see the blog section and see what it is. But really, it's amazing. These are the creators. There's about 50 of us in here, 60, 50. And out of those, 20 will move forward. You'll see us here. They're revising it because they had some edits to do. But this stuff is making the rounds. They're putting stuff out there. If you have an iPhone, you click it. It'll take you to our profiles inside.
The iPhone. That's what I was talking about.
Amazing things that are definitely coming. So I just wanted to share that because I think it's cool. Let's see. Bring us back to our original page. So again, I appreciate you for being here with us, my brother. Extraterrestrial evidence. That's actually going to be pretty amazing. Lisa does not miss a beat. She said, "Beam me up, DP, to Clubhouse is Android, aka Android friendly. We're gonna get you up there." Jesse said, "You can record yourself with that. With that, I did use it as a soundtrack. Oh, my little soundtrack of like do the woo. We're definitely not doing that. Let's see. So yeah, so we have Roderick's information that he shared as well. So some pretty cool, amazing things again that are definitely taking place. So we want to definitely share that and be able to support folks doing some amazing, amazing things. So cool stuff there. Let's see. We're gonna call it here in about a few minutes. Alibis, comments, concerns, questions that you may have, feel free to type that in the comments. Brian, over to your side. Administrative notes. Anything we may have missed?
Just trying to think. Well, no, I mean, everybody, we appreciate everybody being here for sure. Great audience tonight. And especially give a big shout out to Roderick, loving the Clubhouse Creators First group. Really supportive. But no, just everybody, if you like what we're doing here, give us some comments in YouTube. That's one way that we can get your feedback. One of the things that we've been working on is trying to answer questions that you may have. Obviously, most of us in the audience here are veterans. So if you have any questions around veterans benefits, if you have questions about cryptocurrency, if you have questions, well, let's see. Well, we got Jess in the audience. So if you got questions on how to apply blush makeup.
We did do a live, Alex, on a men's guide to Mother's Day cosmetics and all that. Trust me, it was not us. We had Jess helping us.
That's right.
Nice.
But yeah, now we're still debating whether we're going to do any live applications or not. But yeah, so follow us on YouTube, comment, follow us on, go to our webpage, theveteransnetwork.club. Again, everybody shops. So if you want to support the club, another way to do that is going to the affiliates page, just clicking on the links there. It doesn't add anything. That's one thing that we're certain about. So we're not adding anything by you doing that. So, but yeah, other than that, just keep an eye out. We're going to be continuing to develop new things. And like we mentioned earlier in the chat, we might even have not only maybe we have a DP teddy bear in the swag store, but we may even have something representing Legend.
Yeah.
So there we go.
We got some comments that came in. Beautiful word, Chevy. I'd like to say I would like to take credit for this because I read it, but the problem is it says only beautiful word, Chevy. This is my wife who commented this, so I like how she neglected me reading it. It literally says beautiful word, Chevy. It was my voice reading the word, so chop liver much?
Man.
Yeah, beautiful word, Chevy. Read it, but don't hear my words because I'm reading it with some contempt now. She didn't make a point to be like beautiful word, Chevy, and then be like, hey honey, I love how you read. You're muted, Amy. Yeah, completely bypass.
Read by a bearded black man.
There you go.
What can I say on that one? But where is it? Here it is. To the word specifically here, Lisa's share, Chevy, as a writer and a poet, this hit me so hard. Again, feedback for your craft and what you share with us here, brother. Let's see. Frank, of course, has to jump in the mix. He says, so why do us Marines need to clean up after the Army? This is, how many kids are in the household on your side, Alex, did you say?
4.
4. So it's like that last kid who gets all the hand-me-downs. That's what happens with the Marine Corps. Got it. Boom. Whatever. You're not cleaning up. You're just taking all the leftovers that we gave you. The end. Let's see here. Jay said Frank because they don't have anything else to do. So there's some of that. Chevy said, "Thank you for allowing me to share. I didn't mean to make anyone cry. Hey, it's the power of the message. If it hits right, it hits right. So, Shaky's channel says, heck yeah, little UFO action. There it is. Matter of fact, little levitation. Let's see. Lisa said, "Oh wow, don't take me tonight, please, UFOs. I can't speak for what they're doing. We might have to call in the expert." And what I love about this is because we have experts, and I also met a Cuban chef who I'm bringing on, who's a veteran as well in New Jersey. Craziness, like
Wow.
the connection is just like people. It's like, man, more people for the crew. They can come in to be able to do amazing things.
That's awesome.
Oh, what did Lisa say? Any other day, Mondays through Thursdays are great to get me, please. I truly surrender, UFOs. Lisa, look, you talked about the whole bearded men reading. I don't know what's going on here. You're getting a little too personal with details. Like, please pick me up, UFO, on Tuesdays after 5. I will be out there with a red rose. What? Lisa, what's happening? Awesome. Shaky says he has subscribed to Roderick's channel. Support, yes, that's what it's about. Definitely check out his channel, check out his page, check out what he's doing. This is awesome. Let's see. I listened to podcasts about UFOs, Bigfoot, and this is rare. So Roderick says, thanks for the sub. This is what it's about. It's about connecting and being able to do things like that. I love it. Frank says, Roderick, he loves the concept. Let's see here. Apparently Frank said he also applied to the show, but he wants to be the serial killer. Well, there it is. If you saw this, bloop alert. Let's see. Roderick said, thank you, Brian. Let's see. Jay wants to hear all about these UFOs. Make sure if you're in Clubhouse to follow him. So there's that part as well. We'll make sure to have those links available too. Lisa said, how do I get a DP teddy bear? You got to talk to Brian. This is completely out of my hands.
Well, we'll let hey, we're going to announce something in the swag store as soon as we can.
See, this is why right here. This is why, Alex, quickly, I'll tell you what happened. We're in Iraq. This man's knee gives out. He's about to fall. I tell him, hey, you can't just be falling all over the place. Did I flinch? No. Just like your husband, my feet's in the air. I'm ready for combat. I ain't got time to pick him up because his knee gave out. We're in a hot zone. Got to keep it pushing. He knows what time it is. DP is the Morgan Freeman of Chevy's words. That's for Joe. So we were all together back in the service. My wife's also a veteran. Jay and us, we all served way back when. So we all know each other in real life as well. So he's coming into the rescue because Joe left me hanging. So there's that part. LB, my brother, talking to a co-worker, veteran, helping him retire and filing VA claims, just catching up. But I know it's always a wonderful show. Millions of thanks. I'll tell you, LB was dropping some nuggets last week, man. It is amazing the folks that we have. And then we have obviously Lisa saying, "Oh my God, Frank, Lord Jesus." So as we wrap, and we will let ladies go. Oh, actually, we'll go ladies first. Amy, your closing thoughts.
I would say thank you for being here, Alex. It was nice to have you on the show. We'll have to get Alan on here sometime.
That's all we're missing for the whole,
I know. I told her to tell him to come over. I told him to come in the room and get on the computer. But see, Alan is either in his uniform or in his pajamas. So there's really no in between.
I can't take any more gladly dressed men.
He's not wearing a beard, is he? We don't want to read.
Does he have a beard right now, Alex? No beard. He's on uniform. Okay, we're good. We're good.
Okay.
Well, I guess in the Army you don't have standards because in the Air Force you couldn't rock a beard if he was.
We cannot rock a beard in the Army. AR-67-1. What are you talking about?
No.
It's terrifying to me how that's in there. Like literally, the fact you even said that is like 67-1. What are you talking about? Violation. Had a moment. Roderick, the UFO regulation got me.
So make sure that you reach out to your strong friends. The heaviest thing to pick up is a phone. And thanks for holding space with us tonight. It's always fun. Friday night is it's always a good way to end the week. So it's always my do-over start time is after Friday Night Live. I always feel pretty good about it. So I'm excited for what's to come on Clubhouse, and yeah, that's about it.
Uh-oh. Since we now have a Space Force, which branch will be the best represented in space?
Air Force.
But what do you do when you land? What do you do when you is that the song you guys sang like when you were marching from place to place? Air Force is the best. Makes me feel happy. Want some lobster? What?
No, Air Force is the best. We all passed our ASVAB test. Army, don't be blue. Navy, women are ugly too.
Rah, rah.
Oh my God! See, that's what we heard when Alex finished reading that. This is what happened in her mind. In her mind, she's like, no.
Exactly. That is exactly.
They heard Rambo's M60 going off in the background as sound effects whenever they finished that cadence.
You mean Call of Duty?
No, Call of Duty. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Wrong force.
Wrong force. Oh Lord, it just flows. Wrong force. Wow. Oh my God, what is happening? We're about to get banned from Facebook. Roderick, I'm gonna hang out with you on your channel. You may not be able to make it past here. Now we're over here desecrating branches of service. Thank you, Amy. You did this to us. Shaky's saying stay mad. So he's giving. Look at that. I want to say Shaky is supporting that. I'm gonna say that's just bow, 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 fire, fly.
Air Force. Air Force.
Frank says. Notice she never busted on us Marines. Just like all the branches, you want to be us. You could argue that, but there's also like the whole.
Some crayons ready to eat, Frank.
No, Alex, this is like the Brady Bunch. Marshall, like it's like the middle child. No one's talking about you for a reason. We forgot already. You're still here? What? Crap! Who left the Marines in the car? Jesus Christ! Frank is there like this. We are going to hell in a handbasket.
Can I go inside, mommy?
Mommy, sugar, mommy. Oh no!
Pour some sugar on me.
Look, I don't. Man, it all started so well.
Pour some sugar on me.
No, we're not going to entertain this.
That should be your theme song now.
Yeah. Oh no.
That should be your theme song. Yes.
We don't want Frank to low crawling again. He will sneak in. Shaky says, and I love how it always gets. We don't want to be y'all Marines. We want to fight. We want y'all to fight for us. Y'all got it, devil dogs. There you go. That's a good note to put it there. Over to Brian.
Oh man! Hey, wrapping up a fantastic week, just from so many good things happening. Trying to keep it on the upward flow on a positive note, and I'm particularly wrapping it up on a very even more solid than I could ever imagine beforehand. So I'm jealous for everybody out there to get one of these, and so I'm really hoping that we can get this to you as soon as possible. Yeah. And oh man, Elliot, good to see you here, brother. We know you knocked it out of the park tonight.
How did it go? He literally was just singing. He had the whole uniform up and everything.
He fit in his uniform too. Elliot, you have the link. Low crawl in.
Oh my Lord. He literally he's probably in a uniform right now too. Went out there, did a whole thing.
Yes.
That was
absolutely
awesome.
Told him to come in.
Don't give him no ideas. Look, Alex, we're gonna let you do your closing thoughts.
Yep.
There was one time we did a show, and then another show started. So we have Friday Night Live, and apparently then there was like the late show with a whole bunch of folks losing crap. You don't have to stay for this stuff. Amy is instigating. We're closing thoughts, and she's like, bring somebody in. See, and then Frank shows up with crayons, and he starts, seductively singing to us. Eating chocolate. Oh, he was on national TV as well.
Nice.
This is for you. Can you hear it, DP?
What in the heck? Over.
That's a song.
I'm sorry, you're breaking up. You're on mute. Amy, can't hear you. You're breaking up. Elliot, can you let us know what channel the game that played? Because folks should be able to find it. So maybe let us know the game, and people can probably do a Google search and find it. So let us know who was playing, and maybe we might be able to see the main channels or what have you. I'll try to pull up if I see it as well.
He said he's going to get food because remember he had to lose weight to fit in his.
Alex, he spent the whole he got the word, and he's like, well, I'm gonna have to go ahead and just drink water. So he literally rolled. Oh God, he is here. It's look. See what? No, I'm not. Where is my little ding thing? Where is my sound effects? Because I need to make sure that we announce things properly for people. So apparently, what's happened there is someone's at the door.
Who's there, DP?
It might be a Marine who sang. But before we let him in, I want to go to Alex so she can give us her closing thoughts. So if she should have to leave, she can and does not feel sequestered. I don't care what Amy says.
Well, thank you guys so much. I really enjoyed tonight, the topic. It was wonderful talking to y'all and a good time. So I appreciate the time and just the acknowledgement, and continue guys doing what you guys do.
No, we appreciate you being here and giving your perspective on everything. So you're part of the club now. That is for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm
I said our
excited.
club has invite.
Good mornings then.
Yes.
So we appreciate you, Alex. Apparently we have, I don't know what is happening here, but this is not me making myself a duplicate. This is me literally adding this, and
There he is.
look at that. Look at that.
Live on
I
location.
can't hear you guys at all. But hi.
Oh,
Look at that. You're not. Where's your uniform? Oh, he got to show off the digs. Oh, see,
look
this
at
is
that.
why we don't let people in here. No, Shaky. Don't encourage him.
Oh man, look at that.
No, another handsome face. No, not a handsome face. No. Don't encourage. Don't look what he's doing. No.
Oh, that's.
I need to get a
much.
sound to be able to kind of shut this down.
So I can't hear any of you guys, but it went really well. I found out that it was aired on national TV. So I got to see if I can find the recording, but I'm getting cat.
And then you're gonna eat.
I can finally eat now. Now I don't have to fit into the blues anymore. So I'm off the ground.
Oh my goodness. So
I can't hear. I can't hear you guys at all.
let's see. Where is
So- Yes. Yes.
after not eating for a few days? This is Elliot. All right, brother. We'll let you go.
I'll see you guys soon.
All right.
See you, Elliot.
Don't call it a
That's
comeback because, of course, you know what? As promised and delivered, it's Frank who rolled up in here. Where is?
Frank.
Oh Lord. Where is Frank's theme
Yeah.
song?
He just low crawled in here.
This is there it is. You guys know him. He's Frank, our resident crayon eater, co-founder, CEO of Crayons Ready to Eat. He snuck in here, low crawled, went past the Air Force. They didn't notice him. The Army was busy fighting with the Air Force. The Navy was on the ship, and Frank crawled in.
Of course.
So you have to tell. So Alex, I don't know if she knows this, but Frank is the co-founder of Crayons Ready to Eat. So like MREs, they're series. So they're legitimately crayons that you can eat. You can color with, and you can eat them. They're chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yes. And so he
Yeah.
likes to low crawl in here and try to be seductive with his Crayons Ready to Eat.
I have never
night.
seen so much chocolate drooling down somebody's chin.
Yeah, the last time he may or may not have been sitting back eating chocolate in front of us, very seductively.
Hey, there you have to have crayon porn every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna do you even one better
Wait, before we do that,
because
hold on. No,
tomorrow.
hold on. Let me just show the site real quick and let me introduce it so folks know where to go. It's crayonsreadytoeat.com. Please make a point to check them out. These are the world's first edible crayons. Again, we all know what these things are. But he went ahead and said, you know what? Let's get one better. Let's get you the real stuff. We got CREs, crayons ready to eat. We got Jarhead red for the Marines, Squid blue for the Navy, Dog face green for the Army, Flyboy yellow for the Air Force, Puddle Pirate orange for the Coast Guard, and Space Cadet white for the Space Force. They are literally getting these things. There's a swag shop and a lot of great information here. But I really want to focus and say, click on this little banner link here. They're on Fund the First. There's a crowdfunding going on. Fund the First. It's like GoFundMe with ID Me, with veterans. It's for veterans. It's for first responders. So all the security issues you may have seen elsewhere, it's not here on Fund the First. Fund the First, we'll talk about it. It's a great platform, but they're for first responders and military. This is where Crayons Ready to Eat is crowdsourcing, crowdfunding, kickstarting their campaign to be able to get these crayons out to the rest of us. So go over here and support the crowdfunding.
Yes.
Over to you, Frank.
Alex has to go. She has to do
Yes.
mom duty. She's got to go. So thank you for coming, Alex.
Thank you.
Tell everybody I said hi.
I will.
Guys.
Bye.
I'll see you. Bye.
So
Yes.
great show so far. Love what you guys are doing. The guests you have on here are phenomenal. I'm not gonna, bring out the crayons. I want to be polite tonight, okay? But I'm in a process of making CRE dog tags.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna have wooden CRE dog tags that are right now in the process of being laser engraved. So yes, I have many skills.
I'm blind. I looked into the laser.
But we have an event tomorrow. If anybody is in San Diego, we are going to be at the Mission Valley Mall with AMC, with the Millspouse Entrepreneur Showcase. And one of the things that we're going to have at our table is I could not go down there without a 21-inch wooden crayon that says Grunt Fuel on it. Made out of wood.
Nice. Nice. Awesome.
So yeah, you guys can come down and check out the Grunt Fuel crayon.
Mm-hmm. Shaky said, Frank, that explains the sexy 80s porn music. Wow, I thought that was a joke. No, it's a real deal. They're also saying all crayons are edible, but this one tastes good. There you go.
And it's not going to stop you up neither, like the others.
That's also true. you don't want any of that evilness. Lisa's saying go Frank. I don't know if she was saying if she's saying more so go Frank because of the fact that we have a whole theme song for you. It's in the bones.
Go Frank.
Oh Lord! See, look at that!
Oh wow!
See that? The music comes on, and guess what happens? In true fashion,
I saw the chocolate.
Yes. Oh wow!
Look at him! Look at him! Look, it's a crayon love. You see it?
Crayon love.
It's Marines After Dark.
Marines After Dark.
I hope you didn't get a spoiler.
I had to stop in.
Yeah, no, we appreciate. Yeah, we love you, brother. But for sure, again, can you repeat again for those that may be in the area? What's going on tomorrow? Again.
So, if you're in San Diego, come down to the Mission Valley Westfields Mall from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. AMC was teamed up with Westfield Mall and sponsored by USAA, where they are having a Millspouse showcase where veteran or Millspouse entrepreneurs have their booths, come down, sell their stuff, sell their products. And this is the first of many that's going to happen throughout the Westfield malls. Flossie and Monique, I always mess her name up, of AMC has put this event on, and we were asked to come down there and have a booth and get information out there and stuff about us. There's going to be media coverage. So if you're in the area, you're going to be able to come down, meet myself, meet Cassandra, and meet the team of Crayons Ready to Eat here in San Diego.
I love it. And again, a
That's
quick
awesome.
plug again back to your website and the fundraiser that's taking place for folks to know where to support. Again, crayonsreadytoeat.com is where you'll find information. You'll see here, please donate or share our crowdfunding campaign. So you'll be able to get some information. Go to the swag shop, check the store, meet the team so you can literally kind of get to know who they are. So you'll see Frank in here. You'll be able to get Cassandra's information as well, see the story, how they got to this point, shop as well, support, get some of the swag that they have going on, and then head on over to Fund the First to be able to support the crowdfunding campaign they have underway to be able to reach their goals to get these chocolatey crayons out to all of us. And they have different tiers that you can donate. Depending on which tier you donate in, they have different bundles so you can peruse and take a look at where we are. So, pretty awesome stuff, but definitely something to keep track of for those out there supporting Crayons Ready to Eat and the amazing things there.
Definitely. I
Sweet.
figured I'd pop in for a minute, since the Marines have to represent. Elliot came on. I figured I might as well just come on and have it, power numbers 2-2 on one. Sorry, Amy, but maybe we'll
Hmm.
find some other Air Force to come in here and support her.
Yeah, we have to balance it out. Now we gotta get the Navy in the house. We'll bring the Yelly back so she can represent the Navy.
There you go.
Get a Coastie, maybe a Space Force, and we're all ready for the brawl. Um,
There we go.
Frank, since you're here, any parting thoughts for you for those out there in YouTube, Facebook, and etc. land?
Just like piggyback on Brian. Um, a lot of us don't have the support, and a lot of us don't have the people there to back us or to talk to. And finding places like this is just a blessing and an opportunity to connect and keep pressing forward. And send your friends, tag them, share the videos, get them involved. Find something that they're into, connect with them, and just be there, like you guys are. And I appreciate every single one of you.
Appreciate you, my brother.
Appreciate you,
So
Frank.
this does it for another episode of Friday Night Live, Military Spouse Appreciation Day edition. We will be back next week. More to follow. Make sure you're checking us and following us on our social media platforms as we share updates. The best place to get all information on what we're doing is veteransnetwork.club. You'll be able to see what we're doing. We'll add information. So keep tuned into that. More to follow. Uh, let's see. Oh, Amy's back. So we lost you for a second.
Oh, maybe.
Oh, I don't know what happened. Sorry.
I don't know what happened. I think it was all that crayon seduction that happened, and you were just like, I'm out of here. I can't.
Amy
You were like, I
just
can't
fell
take.
out.
Yeah.
But yeah, but that pretty much wraps it for us. We appreciate everyone tuning in. As Amy would say, the heaviest thing to pick up is a phone. So pick it up, reach out to someone, make sure that you support them. More good things to follow. Again, we're going to be sharing this. I'll tease right now, but MK9S Service Dog actually did a run of coffee with a team called Project Bruna. And there are two Navy service members who put this company together, and they've sourced this. We went through the process of actually putting this together, which is amazing. So literally, we went through the whole process of picking what region of the world, and then what type of soil, etc. So we got a bunch of these to give out. I have about a few of them. So stay tuned on social
Thanks.
media. We're going to be giving these out. This is Project MK9's blend. This coffee comes from Ecuador. Producer was Maria Guatillo. The variety of this one is a bourbon and couture blend. Processing method was wash, made cultivated at an elevation of 1600 MASLs. So that gives you kind of a rundown. But this was done in conjunction with MK9S Service Dog, where I got my service dog legend from. So we have a few of these. Expect some social media posts to come out. I'm going to get in contact with the team that put this together from Project Buna, who are also actively in the Navy, currently serving, while doing this on the side. So being able to source and be able to run us through this project. So literally we had like a weekly voting. We put together a process. We selected what part of the hemisphere, what part of the world, and then we narrowed it down, and then what type of flavor profiles we voted, and then here we are. So a great process how they do this versus just buying something. So we'll have this on social media, have a few bags to give out, but definitely we're going to bring them on and have a conversation soon. So more to follow there. We appreciate y'all. We will see y'all. And in true fashion, like we always do, we will go out how we came in. Watch out for Frank though. He might bring up. Oh, we got crayons and teddy bears.
Just another sunny day in Southern California. It's where the people came to play. Don't let them transform you. Come and see what you've been missing on a little slice of heaven. It's the only place we're living. It's that West Coast point of view. Easy when it's always summertime for you. Every attitude. Who cares what the people think? It's been turning kinda gray in Southern California, but I'm allergic to the rain. What happened to euphoria?
Here it is, baby. It's time to believe. I love it.
I believe. That's awesome.